A new ride for road trips, errands, or just life on the go? Go Auto offers a massive selection with over 15,000 new and used vehicles to choose from. With over 70 locations across Western Canada, finding your next ride has never been easier. Whether it's a roomy SUV for the family, a sleek car for the open road, or a rugged truck for your weekend adventures, you'll find it here at a price you'll love. Explore thousands of vehicles today at goauto.ca.
Well, get ready for a silly hockey fans. Your partner in power just skated onto the ice.
EWEL.ca, the new e-commerce website for electrical wholesalers Edmonton, is ready for the power play 24/7, 365.
UL skates to where the puck will be in 5 years. Now that's forward thinking.
Killer selection, slamming products from the best brands, and legendary service.
Don't sit on the bench. Get your account today at EWEL.ca and win that project.
Plug into your partner in power. Get an EWEL.ca account today.
Legacy Heating and Cooling is serious about cooling. In fact, we offer multiple ways to cool your home. So you better call Legacy. If you're looking for traditional air conditioning, we got you. It's about a heat pump to help you heat and cool.
It might be just getting out of the box to make sure.
Cool AC. Cool your home with Legacy Heating and Cooling.
It's the Bricks 55th birthday bash. And this weekend only, the savings are huge. Find incredible deals throughout the store. Plus, the first 10 customers on Saturday receive a $55 credit toward furniture or mattress purchase. Buy any TV 65 inches or larger and get a $55 instant credit. And buy select mattresses to receive a $55 instant credit toward bedding accessories. Enjoy cake and family fun on Saturday at noon and enter for your chance to win over $155,000 in prizes. Hurry in. These offers end Sunday, July 19th.
No! Canada is up 2-0. That is the most dangerous thing in soccer.
Thanks, Mike.
See that, Dan? My left eye is twitching. That's my voice. It's never wrong.
With early payout, I got paid the second they went up 2 goals. So to me, it's now the safest lead.
Early payout from Bet365, huh? Now my right eye is switching, Dan.
Bet365. If gambling is affecting your mental health or well-being, 211 Alberta is here to help. Call or text 211 or visit ab.211.ca. 18 plus only. T's and C's apply.
Hey, Alberta. You can now get your health number and Canadian citizenship marker on your driver's license and ID card. No more flimsy paper health cards or multiple IDs to juggle. Just one card, that's it. To get yours, bring your Alberta health card, proof of Canadian citizenship, or other eligible documentation to the registry to renew your card. Learn more at alberta.ca/onecard. A message from the Government of Alberta.
Hey, Gary, is that your dad?
No, this is Evan, the new sales rep I hired.
Oh.
First impressions matter, but when hair loss takes over, it can feel like you're not being seen for the maverick you truly are. Hi, I'm Dr. Vance Elliott. At Advanced Hair and Skin Surgery, we know that hair loss is more than just a cosmetic issue. It's personal. Let's discuss all the cutting-edge options available so you can make a great impression every time.
Book a free consultation today at drvanceelliott.com.
The Jason Gregor Show.
Watches this cross.
On Sports 1440.
Well, these short corners, more often than not, as it gets into the penalty area. This one's on target. This one's an absolute beauty. He had the sighter, and now he's smashed in the equaliser. Enzo Fernandez.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
Messi. To Lautaro Martinez. We're going out to the semi-final stage. It's been header after header after header, and this one finds the back of the net.
Well, a tremendous Thursday afternoon. How you doing? And welcome to the Jason Gregor Show, Sports 1440, sports1440.ca, YouTube, Facebook, X, Instagram, Twitch. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching the show. As always, brought to you by PlayAlberta.ca, where it's Thursday, the Daily Grand. Your chance to win $1,000 a day for life for the next 20 years. Pretty good. Get your tickets at PlayAlberta.ca. And we've got lots to discuss on the program today. Looking forward to it. We're going to hear from J.C. Sherritt, defensive coordinator of the Green and Gold, as they are looking to go 5-1 and rebound to the only team that beat them this year, the BC Lions, as the Lions come to town tomorrow night. And man, did you see the weather? It is going to be unreal tomorrow. That is, trust me, I know 28 degrees is hot, 29 is hot, but by 7 o'clock at night, it's perfect. You sit back, relax. If you're a sun demon and you love the sun, we'll get your seats on the east side of the stadium. If you prefer a little bit of shade, sit on the west side. You got options. And it should be a great game. And it's a perfect night. Sit back, relax, finish off your week, and away you go. So it should be a good game. We got some lineup changes we'll get to for the Green and Gold in a second. Also, of course, we will chat about the Edmonton Oilers as they came out with their schedule release today. We do know that they're opening up against the Canucks' first ever regular season game in September, as the season will go from September 29th and it wraps up on April 10th. And then boom, right into the playoffs. The Oilers have a few extended breaks. They play their last game on December 20th before the Christmas break at home to the Ducks. And then, of course, Edmonton's hosting the World Juniors, so they'll be gone. But they're only gone, like, it's a 6-game road trip because they don't play from the 20th until the 27th. So that's a pretty long break. And, you know, for any of the players that are out east, I could see guys going home for Christmas, and then you just join the team in Columbus on Boxing Day. Because the Oilers will come out of the Christmas break. They're in Columbus on the 27th. They're in Washington the 28th. Boston on the 30th. Detroit on the 2nd. Pittsburgh on the 3rd. And then they wrap it up with a stop in Nashville on the 5th of January. So the Oilers will wrap up all of their Eastern time zone games on January 3rd. Very similar to last year, where they got their East games out of the way early. I think it's a good strategy, right? When you look at wear and tear and travel, obviously all the Western teams have a bit of a disadvantage because you just travel farther. You don't have a lot of teams in close proximity like you do in the East. It's just how it is. It can't change. It's impossible unless you're going to somehow relocate all the Western teams to closer cities. It's not happening. So there'll always be a little bit of a travel disadvantage for the West Coast teams. And I think if you can get those road trips out of the way early, they start with a 3-gamer on Halloween night in Long Island. Then they're in the Rangers and New Jersey. Then they have a 5-game. Well, it's actually a 6-gamer, but 5 of the games are against Eastern Conference: Toronto, Philly, Florida, Tampa, Carolina. That's always a tough stretch where you go Florida, Tampa, Carolina, November 17th, 19th, and 21st. And then they finish it off with a game in St. Louis on the 22nd. Their next road trip out east is Buffalo, Ottawa, and Montreal on the 10th, 12th, and 14th of December. And then, as mentioned, that last 5 games. So that's it. And then they are done out east. The Oilers' final 21 games of the season are against Western Division teams. They really want the league, clearly based on the Oilers, and I was looking at a few other teams' schedule, it's conference games down the stretch. So the Oilers' final 21 games, they play Calgary 3 times. They play Nashville and Dallas twice. They play the Kings twice, the Blackhawks twice. And then they finish, and I have to look it up, but I think this might be the first time in Oilers franchise history where they open the season against 2 games against the same team, a home and away against Vancouver, and then they end the season with an away home against Winnipeg on the 7th April, and then they wrap up their home schedule on the 10th against the Jets. So some other highlights for those who like to see the Leafs in town. They're here on the 24th of October. Montreal is here on the 30th. Kind of sucks for Oiler and Flame fans who like to go for a road trip within the province. There's no weekend games between the Oilers and the Flames this year. None. Edmonton hosts the Flames on Wednesday, October 28th and Monday, April 5th. And Edmonton is in Calgary on Wednesday, March 3rd and Tuesday, March 23rd. That's really the only obvious negative. And that one's more about fans. Because I know some of you are still going to go on the weekdays, but not as many can get away on a weekday game. You just can't, right? You got to work. Saturday game, even a Sunday game, but usually a Friday or Saturday night, people love it. And unfortunately, but no Saturday game. Now, the Oilers' schedule, if you look at it on a breakdown of by day, and I broke it down for the Oilers' schedule by day. This year, they have 23 games on Saturday. 11 of those are at home. So those of you that like to go to home games, you've got 9 home games on Thursday, 11 on Saturday, and 4 on Friday. 2 on Sunday nights, 6 on Wednesday, and 5 on Mondays and Tuesdays. So for home fans, that Thursday's kind of become a big night in the National Hockey League. They like a lot of Thursday games, a lot of Tuesday games, a lot of Saturday games. Oilers only play 5 games all year on Friday, and 4 of them are at home. So you can plan ahead, I guess. You got date night, you'll be doing it on Friday nights because there's not a lot of hockey on Friday night. Again this year for the Edmonton Oilers. They got 9 games on Monday, 12 on Tuesdays, 11 on Wednesday, 15 on Thursday, 5 Friday, 23 on Saturday, and 9 on Sunday. So that is it's pretty good, I would think, for Oiler fans. I also broke down how the Oilers, because a lot of people get into it, how many back-to-back games do the Oilers have? They have 11 sets of back-to-back games this year, which is tied for 19th most in the NHL. Pittsburgh has 15. They have the most. Boston, Buffalo, Florida, Ottawa, and Washington, 14. And then you go down, the Oilers have 11. Calgary and Vegas have the fewest at 8. But then how many times do you play a team who's on the second half of a back-to-back? And if you look at the Oilers, they have 10 of those, which is, 19 teams have more. Montreal has the most, 19 times. That's pretty big. The Habs have 19 games where their opponent is playing the second half of a back-to-back. So fairly favorable for them. Anaheim has 18. Detroit and St. Louis have 16, and then it goes down. The fewest, Toronto and Winnipeg only have 5. Minnesota has 7. Boston, Ottawa, Utah, 8. Florida, San Jose, 9. And then Edmonton, Vegas, Seattle, Columbus, and Buffalo each have 10. So Oilers road trips this season, the longest ones, they've got 6-gamer twice, one in November, and then one that crosses over December and January. They also have a 5-game road trip in December. Their longest homestand this year is, well, technically it's 8 games, but they play on January 28th and 30th and February 3rd. Then it's the All-Star break, and the Oilers have a long All-Star break. They play on the 3rd, then they don't play again until the 12th. So they got over a week off. So all the players who are in the All-Star game, they'll be going somewhere. And then the Oilers come back from the All-Star game with 5 more games at home. So from January 28th until February 22nd, the Oilers are at home the whole time, other than when they travel away somewhere for a holiday. So that's a pretty good part of their schedule. And then they got a few 4-game road trips, few 4-game homestands mixed in throughout the year. So start with Vancouver, home and away, end the season with away and home against the Jets. They also have Utah with a home and away in Edmonton on the 15th of October, in Utah on the 17th of October. They play Seattle back-to-back home and away.
this is just dumb. Why wouldn't you just play both games in the same city? Just saying. You have Friday, November 27th, they host Seattle, and then the next night they're in Seattle. And then they have the other one, of course, is the Jets. So they have 4 sets where they play the same team consecutive nights, but it's never in the same city. They have none of those. The schedule maker did not listen to our unbelievably smart and efficient idea of having a few sets of games in the same city. So there you have it. Hey, Greg's, when's Florida here? I can't stand them. Florida's here on January 7th. The Oilers return home after a 6-game road trip, and they will host Florida on the 7th of January. Then they got the Islanders, Tampa, San Jose, Columbus, and Winnipeg. That's a 6-game homestand for the Oilers. So they have an 8-gamer technically with a break in between. Then they have that 6-game homestand. So if you're a season ticket holder, you got a lot of home games between January 7th and February 22nd. 14 to be exact, with only 4 road games in between. If you're looking at back-to-back games this year for the Oilers, they don't play back-to-back until Halloween night in Long Island, which is a Saturday. And then they play Sunday. And that might even be an afternoon game. I'd have to look at the times. I haven't seen the start time of that. But they play the Islanders on Halloween, and then they're on the Rangers on November 1st. They've got back-to-back in Toronto on the 14th, Philadelphia on the 15th. They're in Carolina on November 21st, St. Louis the 22nd, at home and away with Seattle on November 27th and 28th. They also have in Columbus on December 27th, Washington on the 28th, Detroit January 2nd, Pittsburgh January 3rd, Vegas January 20th, LA January 21st. And that is then Vegas and Anaheim on April 2nd and 3rd. So they have the one back-to-back that involves one game in Edmonton and one on the road, but the rest are basically road games for their back-to-back sets for the Oilers schedule this season. So any other questions, feel free. Let us know, 833-401-1440, 833-401-1440. Connor Halley is here. Con man, how you doing?
Doing very good, Jason. How about yourself?
I'm good. Schedule is always interesting to kind of break it down and see how it compares to other teams around the NHL. And, I think overall, Edmonton, when I look at their schedule, it's a pretty decent schedule. There's no really glaring hard spots for them that I see.
Yeah, I mean, the biggest one that came to my mind would have been the 6 games in 8 nights when you get the Leafs, Flyers, then Panthers, Lightning, Canes, Blues. That's a pretty tough road trip there with the defending Stanley Cup champions. Going through Florida is always going to be a battle. Kicking it off in Toronto is going to be fun. That was kind of the point that I looked at as maybe the toughest part. But hey, every team's got to do those. You're going to have them at some point here. It's a good road trip, good team bonding, and yeah, just to confirm, 1:30 start on Halloween for you.
Oh, so you have the game and then everybody's going trick or treating.
Perfect timing.
That's not bad actually. So 1:30 Edmonton start time on Halloween. Oh, I don't mind that at all. So that's actually pretty good.
Yeah, that'll be great. Following days at 4:00, I believe, taking on the Rangers. So then 5:00 the next Tuesday. So yeah, I'm a big fan of that. Obviously, the kids want to get out to do the trick or treating, so you'll have plenty of time for the parents out there as well.
Now, is that a 1:00 Edmonton start time?
1:30 p.m. Mountain Time. Yep. So
Wow.
3:30 in Long Island.
Now, because I saw a note the other day that even in the U.S. they're looking at not changing daylight savings time as well. So we're going to have to see here. It's too early because did you see? I didn't see any late night start times because of the time zone change. Did you yet?
I thought it was counted to be like a handful, like maybe 9 of them, the 9:00 start times.
There's 9:00 start times?
I thought that's what I had read online with the without the time change.
Oh, my God. Now, are those home games?
I'd have to go confirm for you. It might be the Pacific trip.
Oh.
That's probably where they're going to get us.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So I do love that Halloween start time, though. 1:30, take the kids out trick-or-treating after the game. Unreal. So that'll be good. 833-401-1440, 833-401-1440. Coming up on the show today, we will hear from J.C. Sherritt. We're also going to get David Owens. Joe Haggerty will be by talking Boston Bruins. Look at their offseason. Look at the Bruins. They missed the playoffs last year. You got Florida's recovered. Montreal's good. Buffalo's good. Tampa Bay's pretty competitive. Ottawa was a playoff team. Where do the Bruins fit in? The Maple Leafs think they've improved. Can the Bruins make the playoffs next year? They got to make more moves before the season begins. We'll talk to Joe about that. Livingston will be by. Ed Hervey, the GM of the Elks, will join us in the 4 o'clock hour. We got Speck, head coach of the BC Lions, Buck Pierce, will be by in the 5 o'clock hour. We got Cam Tate as and as well as our roundtable at 4 o'clock with Deck and Connor. So we got a loaded show for you. We'll take a quick break. We'll return. It's Gregor Show presented by PlayAlberta.ca.
Are you looking for safe and reliable transportation solutions for your wedding, corporate retreat, or golf trip? Look no further than Silent Rides, Alberta's premier charter bus company. Whether your group is big or small, Silent Rides has you covered. We offer 3 different sizes of units to cater to your needs, and we provide first-class service at affordable rates. Get your quote today. For more information and to request a quote, contact sales at 877-748-0991 or visit silentrides.ca.
Hey, sports fans, we've got a clear choice for you. At Crystal Glass, we provide customers with the perfect glass for any job. From home to auto and even commercial, installation or repairs, we're your team. Call 310-GLASS or visit crystalglass.ca. Crystal Glass.
Cheering on Canada, Mexico, Australia, France, England, Brazil, Germany, Spain, and the rest of the world at the Druid Irish Pub.
Your World Cup headquarters.
Wear your colors, cheer on your team, and enjoy $6.50 Heineken every game.
Plus, your chance to win a ton of World Cup merch,
including hoodies, jerseys, soccer balls, and more.
The Druid Irish Pub, your World Cup headquarters.
Bringing Edmonton together, one soccer game at a time.
The Druid Irish Pub.
Cheer with us in the Mercer Building across from Rogers Place and Ice District.
Got a car you're ready to part with? Find out what it's worth, fast, easy, and totally free at Go Auto. We're talking top dollar trade-ins, whether it's a little worn or still rocking that new car smell. Just a few clicks, and boom, you've got your value. Text value to 780-777-7777 to start. That's value to 780 all sevens. Why guess what it's worth? Let Go Auto show you the money.
Expand your brand with Fusion Promo Marketing. Fusion is your trusted partner for all things branded merch and apparel. Thousands of products perfect for businesses, sports teams, and corporate events. Fusion with a Z. Promomarketing.ca.
Are you a skilled laborer? All Star Construction wants to talk to you. A heavy equipment operator with Traco or backhoe experience, All Star Construction wants to talk to you, too. With work in and around Edmonton for local land developers, All Star Construction offers year-round employment. Whether it's power, gas, or telecom, developers rely on All Star Construction to get the job done. So if you're a skilled laborer or a heavy equipment operator with Traco or backhoe experience searching for work, search All Star Construction on Indeed.
Want to invest in Alberta's workforce, fill your talent pipeline, and get funding? Careers, the next generation connects employers with motivated, pre-vetted youth through funded internships. Easy, impactful, and risk-free.
When you work with a group like Careers who have experience in that area, they can demystify and navigate all the complex steps and stakeholders that have to be involved.
Visit careersnextgen.ca today.
Everything is going to be okay. Any business, regardless of size, can stumble occasionally. I'm Dan McDicken, a licensed insolvency trustee with Faber. If your business is facing financial challenges, our team of chartered insolvency and restructuring professionals have corporate debt recovery solutions that work. Schedule your free Faber Focus session at faber.ca today. Chances of a positive outcome increase if you engage Faber sooner rather than later.
Portions of this hour brought to you by Cantork. Made in Canada, made for Canada. Workstream isn't theoretical. Find your solution at cantork.com.
The Jason Gregor Show, the best of Edmonton sports talk and beyond. This is Sports 1440.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
.222. How you doing? Jason Gregor, Connor Halley, Declan Kruger, Sports 1440, Sports1440.ca, YouTube, Facebook, X, Twitch, Instagram. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. The show, as always, if you're watching, be sure to give a thumbs up. Hit that subscribe button for Declan. Likes to see the numbers go up every day. It's fantastic. So check it out at playalberta.ca. Of course, we have the PGA back in action, the Open Championship on now. And you got Jackson Suber currently at 5 under. He is the clubhouse leader. And a boatload of guys. Sungji Im is at 4 under along with Dan Brown. And then a host of players at -3, including Bryson DeChambeau, Cameron Young. Nick Taylor is 2 under par. He is the top Canadian so far today. Scrolling down the list, Corey Connors is +1, currently tied for 59. And Rory's +2. Woo! Matt Fitzpatrick +2. Some guys that people were hoping would be competitive, but so far, not great starts for those guys. I'm scrolling down. Who I always liked it. Padraig Harrington. No relation to Joey Harrington. If you know, you know. He was the worst on the course today. 10 over par, which has him in 156th place. So there you have it. I'm scrolling down. Scotty Scheffler, he's right in the mix with Nick Taylor at 2 under par. So we'll see how it goes. Now, some of you probably got to watch it. Some of you didn't. TSN will have the weekend games, but the golf channel has the first 2 days. And unless you have Rogers as your supplier, then you couldn't get it. What the hell are they doing? Wake up! Like, seriously. How do you not make that switch? Oh, my goodness. You're watching. I go to the golf channel. I'm watching some tutorial instruction. I'm like, what are you doing? Figure it out. Right? Maybe they're too busy trying to organize which other stations they can shut down. Just, they got real important things to do there. So there you go. 833-401-1440. Let's get to the Green and Gold Report, brought to you by Legacy Heating and Cooling, home with no payments, no interest for 1 year on your AC or furnace. Bundle them together, saving more. LegacyHeating.ca. And I caught up with the defensive coordinator of the Green and Gold after the walkthrough today, JC Sherritt.
So, JC, give me your thoughts on the improvement of your young middle linebacker and just what you saw, the big difference from week 2 to week 1 for him.
I think the biggest thing and one of the best signs you can see in a young player is he learns from his mistakes. And he does it every day he's playing it, every day he's practicing. So it's just been very encouraging. He takes the coaching and he makes the correction. And that's one of the keys to being a professional.
I know last year when you guys started with the young secondary, you play off the ball more until they get comfortable. Can you even do that with the middle linebacker? Or is he kind of like, sorry, dude, like you're going to have to play aggressive? It's different positions. Kind of, you can't necessarily play passive as a rookie middle linebacker.
No, and he doesn't play passive. He's got to be in the fire. I mean, obviously stop run after last time we played him is a key to the game. So he's going to be right in the thick of it, but he's ready for that.
That will, I assume, be the focus for you guys. You've been great against the run, except that one game in BC. Coach Killam talked about tackling maybe wasn't the best, and there's a few missed assignments. So when you go over the film, when you see a missed assignment, is it usually the guy's just taking the wrong gap? What goes on, and how easily correctable are those?
Yeah, it goes back to when we were 10 years old. It's get lined up and get your eyes in the right place, and that's never changed. That can lead to some bad problems, and at this level, a step to the left or a step to the right goes for 60 yards. So we paid for it, and the tackling we paid for, and we know the importance of that in this game.
Did they do anything different in their running attack against you that they hadn't done in the previous weeks?
No, and that's probably what was most disappointing. Is just we had fit it, and we'd fit it good through practice, but in the game, like I said, just one guy off, they were good enough to make us pay for it.
You're making a few changes, injuries, and then just rotation and on your D line. So Fox comes in. He's been playing. He's going to play more. Taylor starts. Kind of give me your expectations from your D line with the changes and what you're hoping to see from them collectively as a group.
It starts with them. Just like on the other side of the ball, it starts with that O-line. That matchup is monumental in who decides the outcome. So they've got to play fast and violent, and they've got to make Rourke uncomfortable, because if you don't make him uncomfortable, it's going to be a tough day.
He's unique in the sense that he kind of really underrated his scrambling ability. Like, he can make guys miss. So how do you work on that? Because a lot of it is just instinctual in a game. You can't necessarily game plan for when he's going to run or not. So as a former defensive player, how are the ways that guys can get comfortable knowing that he's not going to beat you on the second or third time?
Yeah, I think it just starts with practice. And I think the one thing that Nathan does so well is he scrambles to avoid and still throw. And that's the most dangerous guys. So he keeps plays alive, and that's where our secondary, once you take your drop, if we're in zone, well, it's going to turn into man, because you got to start matching up these routes, because now they're freestyling, and he's got a very live arm.
Your defense leads in a lot of categories. It's been very good across the board, JC. So I'm sure as a DC, you're proud of it, but now the key is to keep the momentum building. Last week, lots of interceptions. They talked about we had our hands on the ball. They weren't able to hold on to it. Now they held on to it. It was almost like they got one, and all of a sudden the floodgates open. But collectively for your defense now moving forward, are you adding way more stuff, or because you had so many returnees that your playbook's pretty much been wide open from the start?
Yeah, I think we're pretty set with who we are. You're going to make tweaks every week, but the key for us is to consistently grow. That's going to be – we have no idea who the Grey Cup champ is. We know it's going to get decided. Everybody's going to form who they are ultimately as a team in these next 8 to 10. And the team that doesn't grow will get left by the wayside. So we're pushing pedal to the metal, just like we were last year when we were taking our lumps. It's no different now, because if we don't keep pace with everybody, they'll pass us by.
Does practice change at all when you get nice weather? You guys had a lot of rain and stuff for those first few weeks. It's been pretty nice here. Does that allow you to do different things in practice?
I think from a defensive standpoint, we are who we are, and weather's not going to change our approach to the day. Obviously we're going to get better looks on throws and things like that, and it's good for the offense, but we're not going to change what we do.
And the coaching staff overall, lots of guys returning, and there's been lots of crossovers. You sit down, you have meetings. On the special teams, how much say or input do you have as a DC, if any?
I not much. The one thing that we stress is a lot of the special teams made up of defensive players, and they it's who we are. It's our identity. So whether that's teams or defense, you carry yourself a certain way. And obviously, no league like any other, they play such an important part of it every game we play. So, for us, it's tackling, making sure they have good fundamentals and things like that. But that's Coach Des and Coach Giller's world.
And then what about you and Maximic as far as the DCs? And, when you're game planning, are you asking him about, because obviously you used to be in BC, but with any team, kind of like offensive tendencies? How is that communication between the two coordinators?
It's phenomenal, and I'm fortunate to get to work with somebody who's receptive to that. Everywhere I've been, I love to pick their brains, because coaches are classically giving the other side way too much credit and thinking something's happening that isn't. So I love to ask him questions all the time, whether it's offensively or defensively, and he's a great sounding board to work with.
So there you have it. The communication between your OC and your DC is massively important, I would think, right? And I love what JC, and I had a conversation with him afterwards. It kind of got him to kind of discuss what he said, because sometimes when you're defense, you come and you're watching the film and they're like, oh my God, what is going on there? And then the offense guy says, well, sometimes on defense, Maximic will look and say, well, why was the guy there? And then JC's like, well, that was a blown coverage. He actually wasn't supposed to be there. It worked out in their favor, but that's not really it. So it's not like the defense did anything great there. sometimes you get lucky. You have a missed assignment, the guy's in the wrong spot, it works out for them. It's going to happen. So a lot of times they do collaborate and work with each other a little bit, especially if you're seeing something that's not working. Now the Elks heading into the game, they are going to have a few more lineup changes. We talked about this earlier in the week. Obviously, Jordan Williams is out and will be out for 3 months, if not longer. So that's not great for them. But the depth chart will see Tamari Fox move into the starting position on the D line in place of the injured Williams. Also, here's a guy to watch for. I know they're very high on number 97, Mr. Meyer. Okay, Gavin Meyer. He actually charted out as one of the best guys in camp. Now, it is training camp, and veteran guys do get some leeway. But they've been waiting to give Gavin Meyer an opportunity. And so he will come in. He'll rotate in on the D-line and look for number 97 to try to make an impact for the green and gold. Also, some other roster changes. Mathis comes in for Carter Kettle. Justin Pace is back in. Verdi's hurt. David Beard's off. And Chris Pashula will be the sixth offensive lineman for the green and gold. But looking at the starter position, the change will really come. Robbie Smith isn't starting on the D-line. He'll rotate in quite a bit, but they're going with Carney, Brinkman, Fox, and Noah Taylor as the 4 stars. Now, you can do that because you got 2 Canadian linebackers starting. You also have Ford in the secondary. Then you got your 2 O-linemen, your fullback, receivers. So they've got more than enough Canadian starters so you can rotate around. I did speak to Nick Anderson today, and right now his target to return is on Saturday, August 1st. So basically 2 weeks from this weekend. He was out running today, and he's going to practice next week. Doesn't think he'll be ready to go for the game in Saskatchewan, but is pretty hopeful that he can return to the field for the match against the Rough Riders on Saturday, August 1st, which should be a hell of a game. Like the next few games here, if you're a CFL fan, you're an Elks fan, this is really hard of it. You got Nathan Rourke and the BC Lions coming into town tomorrow night. You got the weather that looks unreal. And then you got a game in Saskatchewan followed by the return matchup against the Riders Saturday, 5:00. That's going to be a big crowd. I think the crowds are now going to start to build. The weather's helping. The fact that the team is successful definitely helps. And you're getting some of the better matchups. So I think the next few home games, we're going to see a pretty big surge in the tickets for the Elks, which is a welcome change. 833-401-1440, 833-401-1440. I'm curious your thought. We were looking at the schedule. So right now, the 2 home games that will start at, well, we both know 9:00 means like 9:12 or 9:22 are both Saturday nights. November 7th against Vancouver right now is scheduled to be 9 p.m. start. However, keep in mind that the U.S. has they've moved one step closer to abandoning changing the clocks. And because they voted in favor of a bill that would put an end to it. And now that bill goes to the U.S. Senate. If that's passed, then they're going to change. And if they do it, Canada's obviously now. Alberta's done it. There's a few other provinces that are already done it. So the rest would follow. It's just, there's too much business not to have it happen. So who knows how many games ultimately, but some of those games that are Pacific time zone games, and you look at the time, man, you could have some later games for sure for the Edmonton Oilers based on that. So we know for sure right now there's 2 home games scheduled, but that could change depending on if the American and Canadian governments opt to not fall back anymore, right? Like what time are you going to change to? And then whichever one that the majority goes to, that's what every province is going to switch to, right? That's how it's going to be. So we'll follow that. It does have an impact on sports. No, I don't think you want games like long-term in Edmonton 3 hours later. That's just not ideal. Okay. Starting at 9 p.m. Brutal. It's brutal. Well, it's not 3 hours. It's because they actually get an hour closer. So those games, when they start at right now, it's like 7 o'clock Eastern's 5 o'clock here. Well, it'll be 7 and 6. That'd be the problem. So that's why you got to start later. So no thanks. No thanks at all. I don't think there's any sports fan who's like, oh, this would be great. Hey, Con man, like Cons can barely stay up for the 8 o'clockers. Got a 9 o'clock start time? Come on.
Brew that coffee. Yeah, I mean, it's definitely not ideal. We'll get the job done because we have to. I'm thinking of Walks and Paulson, who are going to be staying out a little bit later. Good news for them. No New Year's Eve game this year. So that's kind of a perk for them. They get that one off. But
yes,
yeah, it's a change. We usually complain about those 8:40, 8:45 starts. Now we're doing another 30 minutes. But hey, we'll get through. Everyone will be okay. It's the price you pay to watch Connor McDavid.
Yeah, well, hopefully that all gets sorted out at some point during the year. 833-401-1440, 833-401-1440. We got lots of other texts to get to. Hey guys, I'm curious. What are your thoughts on? Do you know how many afternoon games the Oilers have this year? Well, usually they'll have quite a few. Now, are we talking? The Oilers' their second home game of the season is a 5 o'clock on a Saturday. I love those games. I don't know about you, Cons, but a 5 o'clock Saturday start. Thank you. Those are unreal. Kids can go to the games. Kids get to stay up at the game. You know, people want to go out. You go to the game, then you go out afterwards. It's awesome. So they do have a Saturday 5 o'clock. And then, of course, against the Leafs, that's a Saturday 5 o'clock start time. Do they got any other fives on Saturdays? They do have a 2:30 on Saturday, December 19th at home to Utah. They have a 2:30 Edmonton start time on Saturday, January 9th against the New York Islanders. They also have, I'm just looking at home games first. They have a 1:30 home game start against Dallas on Saturday, March 20th. Saturday, March 27th, 1:30 against the Los Angeles Kings. So quite a few home matinee options for the Oilers. On the road, there's actually a Saturday 1 o'clock Edmonton time against, 1 o'clock Pacific against the San Jose Sharks. So that would be, what's that? A 2-hour time? Yeah, 2-hour time against the Sharks. Then they roll in. They've got a 1:30 game against the Islanders on Halloween. They have 11 a.m. in Carolina on November 21st. They have 11 a.m. in Detroit on January 2nd, 1 p.m. the next day against Pittsburgh. So back-to-back afternoon games the weekend of January 2nd and 3rd. Some of you are, that's kind of the end of your holiday around the Christmas break, so you probably need a family break. Maybe still hurting from New Year's Eve, depending on how serious you are about your New Year's Eve. You got a 1 o'clock start in Dallas on the 27th of February, and that's it. So there you go. Quite a few options for matinee games this year, but considering not as many as I thought. They have quite a few Sunday night games on the East Coast this year, which is like 4 o'clock on a Sunday against the Rangers, and lots of 5 o'clock starts on Sunday, 5 o'clock Edmonton time. So I don't mind that. I don't know why. I just don't like late night Sunday games. I got no time for them. None. Maybe I'm older. I don't know about you guys, but Sunday's like, hey, I'm getting home. I just want to relax after the weekend. I don't want to be up till 11 o'clock on a Saturday. Like Sunday night games in the Pacific time zone, the worst. So, like those 9 o'clock start times, man, for people who drive in from out of town, like that is brutal. Lloyd, and I know there's diehards who come from Red Deer and Grand Prairie, Fort Mac for some games. Like it's just not feasible to have that many games start at 9 o'clock. I know it's only 2, but still, that's not something I don't think you want to do long term. Let's take a quick break. We'll return. Dave Owens will join us and more on the Gregor Show, presented by PlayAlberta.ca.
It's the hard jobs that take know-how, expertise, and the right experience. And that's why Time and time again, GS Construction gets the call when it comes to the hard jobs. Underground projects that are genuinely difficult, like deep installs, tough ground conditions, or tight urban sites. So remember, when it's a hard job, the list gets short, and GS Construction is on it. Want to tackle the hard jobs? We're looking for experienced pipe layers and topmen. Visit gsconstruction.ca today.
Say hello to Alberta's home for reeling and dealing. With Play Alberta, you can spin into the excitement of popular slots like Cash Eruption and Desert Fantasy. Experience Alberta exclusive games and get in on the action of live dealer tables with all new elevated stakes. However you prefer to play, the fun is ready when you are. Visit playalberta.ca/Gregor to learn more. That's playalberta.ca/Gregor. Must be 18 plus to play. If you gamble, use your game sense.
It's dollar drink summer at McDonald's. Sip on a refreshing small fountain drink or a small iced coffee for just $1 each plus tax, all summer long. Only at McDonald's. Excludes flavored and cloud iced coffees. At participating Canadian restaurants. Taxes extra. Prices exclude delivery.
Smart, connected, community driven. Jason Gregor sets the standard for sports talk in Edmonton. Join the conversation on Sports 1440. Text Gregor 833-401-1440. Sports 1440, where Edmonton talks sports.
Scott McGilvery here, HGTV host and renovation expert. The one upgrade I know homeowners will love: better, fresher Culligan water straight from the tap. Culligan's Aquasential reverse osmosis filtration system takes your water to the next level. With up to 7 stages of filtration and 14 filter options, they're certified to reduce over 90 contaminants. Your tap water is about to get a major upgrade. Safer water that tastes great. Get started with a free in-home water test at Culligan.com. Culligan, water you love.
Cantork has turned 25. That's right, 25 years of building tools so good, they practically torque themselves. Hard work and innovation equals problem solved. See our latest designs at Cantork.com.
Mr. Rooter has deja vu. Mr. Rooter has deja vu.
The bathroom is right over there, Mr. Rooter.
Thank you, good sir. Wait, I swear I've plunged this toilet before. It was clogged with a snow globe. Am I living in a time loop? Oh, good. It's just a voodoo doll that looks exactly like me. Ooh, what a relief.
For a plumbing experience you'll want to relive, call Mr. Rooter.
Kickoff is coming July 17th. Elks, Lions at Play Alberta Field at Commonwealth Stadium. It's Dog Days of Summer presented by ATCO Energy. Bring your pup and watch the game in an exclusive section. Get your tickets at goelks.com/tickets.
Portions of this hour brought to you by Crystal Glass, your clear choice for residential windows, locally manufactured and installed. Crystal Glass provides a beautiful product and incredible customer services for all of your residential needs. Call 310 Glass or visit crystalglass.ca for a quote.
This is Sports 1440, where Edmonton talks sports.
On YouTube, Facebook, and X.
Here's Jason Gregor.
Brought to you by playalberta.ca.
.245. Oh, that is some fitting music for the show today. How you doing? Jason Gregor, Connor Halley, Declan Kruger, Sports 1440, Sports1440.ca. Always brought to you by playalberta.ca, where, of course, hey, there is one game tonight in MLB. You can get in on that. We got a CFL picking for the weekend on teams you like. Elks, Als, Argos, Bombers. Who do you like for that? So, check it out under the Jason Gregor shows for our odds boost specials. And the Phillies and the Mets, the only game in town tonight for the MLB. It's time now for Thirsty Thursday, brought to you by Sherbrooke Liquor. 2 locations, Southside, 50th Street, and of course, the original on St. Albert Trail and 118th Avenue. Your best selection for beers, wines, cocktails, coolers, and a massive selection of non-alcoholic beverages, and they taste good, right? Not like there has been such an advancement in non-alcoholic and just the flavor and the taste. So if you've decided to give up the alcohol, but you like the taste of it, you can get some non-alcoholic drinks, and they're very good. as we are joined once again by David Owens from Sherbrooke Liquor. Dave, how you doing?
I'm doing fantastic. Jason, how are you doing today?
Ooh, I'm pretty good.
It's good.
Pretty good. Well, geez, Livingston's going to be rattled. He's not in studio.
I know. I sent him a note earlier.
And
he's like,
oh,
man.
It's like I think he just plans it. He claims that he likes tequila, but
That's
every
right.
time we have a tequila day, he's magically on the road.
Magically on the road. Doesn't want to be here.
So what are we doing today?
Yeah. Okay. So, last week, I think Stephen brought in some 3% or less beers.
Yes, it was light beers.
Light beers, light lager. So we're going to go full on tequila, straight up tequila today. And so I wanted to talk a little bit about tequila first before I tell you what we're going to be tasting here. But tequila has just been blowing up and huge. Now, I've got Steven sent me a whole bunch of notes with this today because he's more the tequila geek than I am with this and the intro. But so I might refer to this a bit more today, but it has been blowing up like crazy. And we've seen it in our shelves. Our section's grown, exponentially in the last several years. But tequila is now the Americans' #1 spirit by dollar value.
Yeah.
It surpassed whiskey in 23, and last year it surpassed vodka finally.
Really?
It's insane. That is $6.5 billion in 23 of tequila versus whiskey. That's a huge number. And globally, it's like 14.5 billion. So that's almost half the global production is just going to the US for tequila. So just really crazy. Vodka, whiskey, rum, all over the world is dropping. But tequila is the only spirit right now that's actually still growing. So, and what we're finding with this too is the additive free movement. And so I don't know if you've heard any of this stuff. It's been, there's been a lot of news around it. But rules around tequila are a lot looser than people think. So you've got, a lot of producers are allowed to add sugar, color, even fake oak flavor into it without saying so on the label. And so additive free means that it's just what's in the bottle: agave, water, yeast, and thyme, right? So producers can legally add up to like 1% of the bottle's volume and additive. So caramel color, glycerin, oak extract, syrup, things like that without disclosing. And the bottle can still say 100% blue agave tequila, but still contain all 4 of those other things in there. So in the early 2012, 2013-ish kind of thing, this couple started a tequila app, Tequila Matchmaker. Great app if you're looking for finding the right tequilas and so on. And it's one of those places where you can go in and put NOM numbers. I think we've talked about the NOM number before. We can look at it quickly again today, but it's and now you can go find straight up clean tequila. So without those things, all those pieces they cover up the agave, which is what the spirit's supposed to be.
Yeah.
So today I brought in some really special stuff. So this is G4. So this is a really limited amount of stuff, allocated only. We just got a small amount again in this year, sometimes once, maybe twice a year. It's a small farm and distillery. He refuses to buy agave from anywhere outside of his own ranch.
Okay.
And so it is limited by the production of what he has there. And agave, you can't just grow it and then harvest it that year. It takes, 9 to 11 years before it's ready to go.
Oh.
So when you're planning and building for massive growth, tequila makes it really, really difficult.
Okay.
So this distillery is El Pandillo in Los Altos and Jalisco.
All right.
The NOM number on this is 1579.
Okay.
And if people don't remember, on the back, you can find some other tequilas. If you see those numbers, those NOM numbers, you find a tequila you like, look for other bottles and see if the number is the same. It comes from the same distillery. Is that what that NOM number is?
So am I drinking the one on the left or the
So
right?
we're going to start with the one on the left.
Okay.
And this is the Blanco, the G4 Blanco. This is the purest version of what El Pandillo makes. Nothing's added, nothing's masked. Oh, so all you can smell in there is the agave.
Oh my goodness.
That is
fresh. That's straight tequila I just drank. And that is so good.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my goodness, man. Woo.
That is absolutely spectacular tequila. Now, the distiller,
it's 80 proof.
Yeah. So you're 40% alcohol. The distiller here, Philippe is his name, from the family. He says he's not in the business of making fancy bottles. He's in the business of making great tequila. And this one here, you get that pepper right off the bat. And then
if you look at, I'm not like, who
and then
cares
some
what it
citrus
looks
comes
like?
in.
I want to care what it tastes like. And God, you could just sip on that with ice.
Yeah, It is absolutely
Little
just over
lemon?
ice.
Little
Maybe a
lemon?
little lemon or a little lime
Ooh,
squeeze,
God.
a little piece of salt, and a little bit of salt, sprinkle salt in there. But what's
Alright.
really cool about this distillery too, and when I was going through the stuff, so they're, it's just clean water,
Yeah.
right? Clean, agave, but they use 50% of their water. They collect rainwater. And so 50% of the water used in here is just actual natural rainwater, and you can taste that cleanliness in here. I think that's what's one of the really cool things about this particular product.
This is really good. So these are all G4s.
These are all G4s. Yeah. So the next one we're going to move into.
And it's a 90 proof, 45% alcohol.
So this one's gone up a little bit. So this is the G4 Blanco Madera cask. And Madera in Mexican, it just means wood.
Okay.
And so this is the exact same tequila as the first one you tasted.
Yeah.
Water's the same, agave, everything's exactly the same with it, but the way it was fermented is different. So let's just have a quick taste of it.
Ooh. That might taste better than the first one, actually. Yeah, so now you hold it in your mouth for a few seconds.
I always do.
noticed that.
Yeah,
right?
I always like to hold it in the mouth, let the alcohol soften a bit, and really, really taste the flavor of what's coming through there. Sort of chew it in your mouth a little bit. Let your saliva kind of come in there and work it. So the difference in this one here is that the first one is fermented in stainless steel tanks. This one is fermented in 100% pine tanks. And so you're getting that really beautiful bit of wood piece in there, but you're not getting strong flavors, but you're getting just enough to add in. It makes it sort of fuller, rounder, a little bit more complex, right?
Yeah.
But aside from that, that is the exact same tequila. So this is just a really cool way of looking at, okay, well, by starting with stainless and just fermenting in a different vessel, that's how much you can change the product.
Yeah. So somebody went into the store and they're like, I want the G4. You would have to know if you want the 80 proof or the 90 proof.
Yeah. Do you want the
next
Blanco?
one 100 proof?
No, the next one's not.
Oh, okay.
But the next one we're going to roll into though is this is the Reposado. So this one's now rested, right?
Yeah.
And this one we go back down to 80 proof for 40%.
Okay. Yeah.
And so the Reposado, this thing has been aged for 6 months in oak casks. And so with that, U.S. law allows bourbon barrels to only be used once. And so a lot of people buy those bourbon barrels, the Scotch whiskey makers and so on. But, Philippe makes sure that he uses usually older barrels that have been used a couple of times because that softens it up. So anybody that uses a new American oak barrel, they're going to get that big, strong vanilla.
So that's a little bit darker color.
A little bit darker because it's had 6 months in wood. But again, they're not adding anything into it. This is just pure and clean. You'll see a lot of these tequila brands, they'll add in, coloring and caramel and sugar just to get that flavor and that color in there.
Well, that one's definitely the smoothest of the three.
Oh, wow, that is fantastic.
This is scary for me because I never thought I could drink tequila straight like this. Oh my goodness. Like usually you do a tequila shot, your eyes are twisting, they're watering, you're like, oh man, what am I doing? Yelling at your friend, you're an idiot. Why are we doing this? But man, this is good.
This is good stuff.
Oh,
yeah. So
geez.
Great, amazing products, super limited batches that come in all the time. Like I said, we just have limited amounts at both stores. Our SurePerks members got notified of it early last week, and then they've had their pick through. So we have some left at both locations right now.
So then, how often would you get G4 in?
Maybe a couple times a year if we're lucky.
That's it, eh?
That's it, yeah.
So if you're a tequila person and you're listening, you might want to get to
and you'll see these like the Madera one.
Yeah,
that's hand numbered also.
Okay.
So it's all these tequilas are the one in the middle there.
Yeah,
they're all hand numbered because they're super they're limited in production. Again, they're limited by how much agave they have right now and what they can make. So he won't go buy outside of his own ranch, his own farm.
I love that
for agave. It's truly a pure craft, tequila farm to cup.
Yeah.
Amazing work, especially even with the rainwater that they keep.
And so now is this just the same ones?
So these are exact same ones, but what we've done is we've added some grapefruit fever tree, some grapefruit soda in there.
It's gonna be dangerous.
Just to show you what, it's the exact same juice, the same tequila we just had, and with the same Fever Tree.
Just a little Fever Tree,
Just a little Fever
sparkling
Tree.
pink grapefruit.
That's it. Yeah, it's kind of almost like a Paloma-ish kind of idea, right?
Yeah.
And if you wanted to, over ice, add a little, a little squeeze of lime maybe, or a little salt around the rim or something like that, or some Tajin.
Ooh, that one actually kind of tastes a little salty.
But the nice thing about it, you can still taste the agave and the tequila through there.
Oh, yeah, buddy.
And the purity of these tequilas still allows you to get that. That's why I chose this it's a really nice way to kind of, if you are going to mix it with anything, this is a good way of doing it. You don't put a whole bunch in there, but just sort of top it off a little bit with it and you get it.
Yeah.
And then you move to the next one. We're going to taste that.
The 90 with
We're going to taste that
Fever Tree.
Madeira come through again on this. You can smell it right off the bat. A little bit fuller, a little bit richer.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
And even when you smell it too.
I think I like that as much as I love the 80. I think I might like the 90 better.
It's so tough.
Ooh.
Like they're both so
They're very
clean,
good.
so good.
There's subtle little differences.
Yeah.
I find that the 90 is just a tad richer for me.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, for sure.
Mm.
Yeah. It's
And now we'll try the
Reposado.
And so what's the Reposado Blanco difference again?
It's rested. So it's been rested. It's been rested in a barrel, an oak barrel for just this one's 6 months. So usually Reposado is no more than about 4 to 6 months. Oh,
What's interesting is you put the pink grapefruit in, but it doesn't add. It's no sweet. It's not sweet at all.
No.
Right. Like the look is a little different. It's got a little pink tinge to
yeah,
it.
little pink
but
tinge
that's
to
it.
But that's it. Yeah, the Fever Tree sparkling grapefruit is a really great one because again, it's not super thick and heavy like some grapefruit juices. It's just a nice light balance to it. Got nice light tight bubbles to it, and it just enhances the aroma of the tequila to begin with. Same if you just put a little bit of soda water in there.
Mm-hmm.
Just the bubbles from put a Perrier or a Topo Chico. If you find those, perfect, because those little bubbles will help the aromas come up too as you're sitting there and sniffing and enjoying your tequila.
Well, I will say now obviously it depends on who you are and stuff, but 20, 30 years ago, tequila, and unless you got like the really high end stuff, you're just like, oh my God, it's like gasoline a little bit. But now, like the advancements in tequila nowadays, like it's really, I still sometimes when I offer someone offers me tequila, it's like, but then you get a good tequila. It's like, man, like if I'm drinking a tequila straight, I'll drink tequila straight just on a sipper way more than I will vodka. It's not even close. Vodka doesn't have much flavor to it. Yeah.
Yeah. This is any day over vodka. I mean, but it is impressive that, it's finally beat vodka in sales. I mean, vodka has been king for so long, just because it goes into everything, right? And every mixer that's out there and every drink that's, it has, but this is tequila is really kicking it. And these great clean expressions, these are, and they're rare things. They come in allocations. They're gone really, really fast. Those that know, and they go pretty quickly. And Fortaleza is another brand, and Ocho another one, which we get super small amounts, a couple times a year of both of those brands also. But this G4 is always highly sought after, and it's really, really well priced. I don't think any of them are I don't think anyone's over $100.
Okay,
which is a really great deal for this kind of quality
for
tequila.
A good tequila. Yeah, for sure. Dave, great stuff, buddy. I love it. So all of our tequila drinkers, you might want to think of G4.
G4 is a small amount left at both stores right now. If you're thinking about it, you're interested, I suggest you get down there.
Get down there today,
because it got released to the public on social media on our platforms today and here on Sports 1440. And those that know this tequila will be in.
They'll be in. All right. So get there quick. Make a stop. Dave, great stuff, buddy.
Awesome. Thanks
Talk
so much.
To you next Thursday.
You bet.
Thursday brought to you by Sherbrooke Liquor. We will take a quick break. Coming up after 3:00, we'll be joined by Joe Haggerty. We'll get some stats of the day and much, much more. It's a Gregor Show presented by PlayAlberta.ca. Here's the Con Man Sports 1440 update brought to you by Go Auto. If you're looking for vehicles, there is no better place to go than GoAuto.ca, as they've got everything you're looking for when it comes to cars, vans, trucks, SUVs, you name it. They've got over 31 new vehicle brands, 73 locations, and now actually they're up to 17,000 vehicles available. GoAuto.ca.
The Sports 1440 update.
Major League Baseball returning from their All-Star break with one game tonight. Mets in Philly. First pitch 4:10. The Jays returning to action tomorrow at 5:15 with the White Sox in town. Round one of the Open from Southport, England. Jackson Seaver leading the way, 5 under par. Daniel Brown and Sungjae Im both 4 under. As for the Canadians, Nick Taylor 2 under, while Corey Connors is 1 over par. The Stingers back in action. They get on Scarborough tonight. Town gets going at 5:30. Coming up in hour 2 of the Jason Gregor Show, we'll look at the Bruins with Joe Hagerty of the Boston Sports Journal and speed things up in the Cantor Racing Report with Colin Livingston. I'm Connor Halley. This has been a Sports 1440 update.
It's Sports 1440, a Stingray radio station broadcasting on Treaty 6 territory.
Download the free iHeartRadio app and listen to CKJR wherever you go.
Come for Canada's largest trade shows, the biggest names in entertainment, exhilarating sporting events, and more. And stay for the experience at the Edmonton Expo Centre. Looking for the perfect place to host your next big event? From trade shows to galas, meetings, and concerts, the Edmonton Expo Centre has the space, event expertise, and service to make your next event unforgettable. With over 522,000 square feet of flexible event space, in-house catering, and operational expertise, they bring your biggest vision to life. Learn more at edmontonexpocentre.com today.
Need a new ride for road trips, errands, or just life on the go? Go Auto offers a massive selection with over 15,000 new and used vehicles to choose from. With over 70 locations across Western Canada, finding your next ride has never been easier. Whether it's a roomy SUV for the family, a sleek car for the open road, or a rugged truck for your weekend adventures, you'll find it here at a price you'll love. Explore thousands of vehicles today at goauto.ca.
Wow, get ready for a silly
music for the show today. How you doing, Jay?
Just skated onto the ice.
EWEL.ca, the new e-commerce website for electrical wholesalers Edmonton, is ready for the power play 24/7, 365.
UL skates to where the puck will be in 5 years. Now that's forward thinking.
Killer selection, slamming products from the best brands, and legendary service.
Don't sit on the bench. Get your account today at EWEL.ca and win that project.
Plug into your partner in power. Get an EWEL.ca account today.
Listen up, friends. Operation Pizza is a go at Papa John's. They're introducing new personal pizzas just in time to celebrate the premiere of Toy Story 5. These adventure-sized pies come in new exciting flavors like Sheriff's Roundup, Space Rangeroni, and Reach for the Pie. Or take your personal pizza to infinity and beyond by creating your own flavor just for you. Order 2 or more with Papa Pairings and get yours for only $9.99 each. New personal pizzas are ready for takeoff. See Disney and Pixar's Toy Story 5 in theaters June 19th.
Legacy Heating and Cooling is serious about cooling. In fact, we offer multiple ways to cool your home. So you better
call Legacy. Call Legacy.
If you're looking for traditional air conditioning, we got you.
Call Legacy.
Or ask us about a heat pump to help you heat and cool.
Call Legacy. Call Legacy.
Cool with AC or cool with a heat pump. Cool your home with Legacy Heating and Cooling.
Albertans love to debate the best way to enjoy summer sports.
No. Playing on the field is the best, man.
No way. Watching from the sidelines, way more relaxing.
You're both crazy. Checking out the game from the Bro Zone is where it's at.
But there's one thing every sports fan agrees on.
Wilhauk Beef Jerky.
Wherever you catch the action, load up on Alberta's best beef jerky.
Wilhauk Beef Jerky. Because you can't have summer fun with salad. Only available in Leduc.
I missed one payment, then another. Now I feel behind on everything. I can't keep up.
Falling behind happens to more people than you think, but there is a solution. My name is Parveen Middleton. I'm a licensed insolvency trustee at BDO here in Edmonton. Together, we can create a plan that fits your situation and helps you get caught up and back in control. Call 1-833-BDO-TALK or visit bdodebt.ca to book your free consultation and discover your debt-free future.
You probably know Stingray for radio advertising.
What about digital advertising?
Yeah, we do that.
Connected TV?
We do that.
Search and social?
And that.
Programmatic? Digital out of home?
We do it all. Endless digital platforms to connect your business to more customers, to intrigue them, engage them, so they choose your product or service. Get started now at stingraymediasolutions.com and let us help your business grow. We are Stingray. That's what we do.
Portions of this hour brought to you by Emerald Equipment. Emerald Equipment is Edmonton's newest dealer for Yanmar compact equipment. Machines built tough for the jobs that don't quit. Get your new Yanmar compact track loaders with ASV Posi Track at Emerald Equipment.
The Jason Gregor Show, the best of Edmonton sports talk and beyond. This is Sports 1440.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
Just after 3 o'clock. How you doing? What a lovely day today. Oh, man. Like, it's summer here now. I know we still got some crazy rains overnight, but when it's hot like this, it is awesome. Now, shout out to those of you that have to work outside. I've been there. I know it's not the best. But when you get off work and all of a sudden, you know what, they take off the coveralls and the boots and everything else, you can just kick back and relax. This is sit out on your deck or wherever, front porch, go for a walk. It's just, the weather is awesome. It's going to be a beautiful night tomorrow night for the Elks game with chance to go up 5-1 against the BC Lions. Nathan Rourke, one of the best quarterbacks, not the best quarterback in the CFL, going up against right now the best defense in the league in the green and gold. You got Justin Rankin. Both defense and offensive lines want to have a much better showing than they had against the Lions a few weeks ago. Felt like they got out physical. So there's lots of reasons why this should be a hell of a match tomorrow night. It is the Gregor Show presented by PlayAlberta.ca. Daily Grand. Tonight, you can win yourself $1,000 a day for the next 20 years. $7.3 million. Now, you can get a lump sum. Yeah, you can save it, sure. But you get the enjoyment out of it. Gino, today, you're not going to have a lot of people won't even know. You don't have to tell anybody. Just get $1,000 a day, put it in your bank account. Away you go. Right? You win a big prize. All of a sudden, everybody's coming around. Oh, can I have some? A little bit different. So check it out at PlayAlberta.ca. We do have Ed Hervey join us with all the injuries, kind of like, how do you keep bringing in these guys that can play, right? The depth chart and, just how deep it is. And, how often are you calling guys to see if they're interested to come in? So there you have it. Hey, Gregor, are you concerned about the Oilers trip? We go to New York 3 times and one of the same road trips are Florida and back to Tampa. The schedule seems very odd from Jerry. Well, if you look at they start out, they go Islanders, Rangers, New Jersey. That's it. Then their other road trip is Toronto, Philly, Florida, Tampa, Carolina, St. Louis. So they're not going. They're just going east and then coming back. You go to Toronto, then to Philadelphia, then out to Florida, Tampa, and Carolina. So you might have misread the schedule, right? Then they go Columbus, Washington, Boston, Detroit, Pittsburgh. So I think you've misread the schedule or something. I don't know if you were looking at the home games and got them mixed up, because you're probably looking at the fact they went Florida, New York, Tampa. Those are home games. You just got it backwards. That's all. Right? That's the homestand. Sometimes, depending on where you're looking at dark or light colored, but their road trip has 3 games in New York, Islanders, Rangers, New Jersey, and the other trip has Florida, Tampa, and Carolina, all in the same one. So no, the order schedule, I think, is actually pretty good for as schedules go. Like, it's, there's always going to be, maybe some areas that you don't love about it, but overall, I don't have much complaints at all. So there you go. Hey, Gregor, did you figure out who plays the most back-to-backs or the least? And are they posted along with the schedule? Yeah, I figured it out. And I do have it. We talked about it earlier in the show, and I'll have it coming up in an article at Oilers Nation. It will be out probably around 4:30 today, whenever the editors get it up and running. But when it comes to home and road and the amount of back-to-backs, the Oilers, they only play 11 back-to-backs. Pittsburgh's the most at 15. There's 18 teams that have between 12 and 15. The Oilers have 11, and then there's Calgary and Vegas only have 8, Winnipeg 9, and then Colorado, LA, Montreal, Minnesota, and Utah have 10. Those are the only teams. There's only 8 teams who have fewer back-to-backs than the Edmonton Oilers. And then as far as playing teams who are on the second half of their back-to-back, if you're a Montreal Canadian fan, you're loving it because they got 19 of their games come when they face an opponent on the second half of a back-to-back. That's a pretty big advantage. The Oilers play 10 games like that. So like that, Montreal's at 19. But how about this? At the other end of it, Toronto and Winnipeg are at 5. That's some wild stuff. So if you're a Montreal fan, hello. Second half of back-to-back, pretty good for them. Not the second half, but they're facing teams on the second half of a back-to-back. So that is now I'd have to look up the Habs schedule to see how many of those 19 are they themselves playing the second half of back-to-back, because that is something you have to consider, right? Like the Oilers do have 11, but like when they play Seattle, they're both playing each other on the second half of a back-to-back. So that does happen the odd time. So I'd probably have to dig a little bit deeper into Montreal, but that's a pretty good advantage. Now it's up to you to take advantage of it, for sure. 833-401-1440, 833-401-1440. Hey, Gregor, do you know how many days the schedule is? I'm just curious as far as salary cap implications. Well, yeah, it does matter for the length of the season. And if you're wondering about salary cap, so basically the season is broken down, and it starts on September 29th and then finishes on April 10th. So there's 194 days in the schedule. So basically, if you want to look at cap space and accruing cap space and everything like that, now you'll have the numbers. So Puckpedia will change all of their numbers. But if you're basically $1 million player and you have no signing bonus or anything like that, you're $1 million player, you would divide your salary by 192, and that means they make $5,208.33 every day they're on the NHL roster. It's not based on games, it's days on the roster. That's how it works. So if you're a minor league player and you have a two-way salary and you make $1 million in the NHL, and let's say you make whatever, you make $100K in the minors, you come up and let's say you're on the roster for 10 days. Well, you've just made yourself $52,000. Like almost $52,100, in fact. So that's a big difference for a lot of those players. Right? Like that's why a recall for a young guy or even a veteran player from your AHL to your NHL can be a huge difference. You know, even if you're on the league minimum of $800, and I think it's this year it's $850,000, if I'm not mistaken. So you divide that by 192 days, and you're making $4,427 a day on the roster. It's not bad, right? Get called up, you're up here for 10 days, you're getting basically $45,000, 10 days. It's not a bad life. Now, if I'm an NBA player, I'm going to, yeah, but you get taxed on that. Well, no bleep, Sherlock. Like, maybe it's just me, or is there anything more annoying than these guys going on podcasts talking about, well, geez, you're making this much money, but it's not, you're making $100 million, but it's not, it's only 50 in tax. We're like, really? It's no different than any other human being on the planet. You're in North America, right? Hey, what's your salary? Blank. Well, you pay taxes out of that salary, right? That's the same for everybody. And I'm sorry, like, you think you're going to get empathy from people? Well, it's only a $50 million contract. And then they act like somehow you can't live on that. I'm like, and then you have other players and you hear where they were extremely successful. They didn't go out and spend on everything, right? It's not your job to have to fund everybody's lifestyle around you. Right? I can understand if you make it to the NBA and you buy your parents their house or pay off their house. But if they're living in a comfortable house, you don't have to go out and buy them a house that's 3 times as much and then complain that you don't have money. But I've also said, if I'm a team and I have a player, the first thing I'm doing is sitting down, and guess what? We're going to take you through a little bit of a basic money management course here. This is how much money you have. This is what it means. These are taxes. If you don't, you never had a job. Like, do some people think, like, oh, geez, never had a job before? And maybe if you didn't have a job, you didn't understand it. I sat down with my son the other day and was telling him about taxes, and he was kind of like, what? What do you mean? Well, you get $100, right? You got to pay 30% or 40. I just do a round number. And that goes to taxes, and the rest is yours to start. Then you got to pay for food. Then you got to pay for gas. Then you got to pay your mortgage and everything like that. And all of a sudden, it's like, oh, goes by pretty quick. It's like, yeah. But it's kind of annoying to me watching some of these guys. But at the same time, I have some empathy because I feel like they have no clue. Like, no one's ever discussed the basic money management for them, which I find rather wild. Wild, I tell you. Let's take a quick break. When we return, we are going to get to our stats of the day. We got Joe Haggerty joining us to discuss a team out east that when I look at their team, I'm kind of like, are they going to get back in? How are they going to get back in the dance? Well, they were in the dance, I should say, not back in the dance, but can they stay in the dance? They had 100 points. But you got Buffalo, you got Tampa, you got Montreal, you got Ottawa, and they got Florida. Toronto thinks they're going to be better. What about the Boston Bruins? It's almost like we don't talk about it. Maybe we take them for granted. They're a pretty stable organization, right? Like, they're always in. You got David Pastrnak, he's one of the top 5 offensive players in the NHL, right? 5th highest scoring guy in the NHL over the last 6-7 years, right? Morgan Geekie's become a pretty good goal scorer for the Boston Bruins. They acquired J.J. Peterka. Is it enough? You look on their back end. McAvoy, Lindholm, Zadorov. That's a pretty good top 3. We'll also touch on the Nurse Zadorov trade rumor. How close is that? When we return on the Gregor Show, presented by PlayAlberta.ca.
Say hello to Alberta's home for reeling and dealing. With Play Alberta, you can spin into the excitement of popular slots like Cash Eruption and Desert Fantasy. Experience Alberta exclusive games and get in on the action of live dealer tables with all new elevated stakes. However you prefer to play, the fun is ready when you are. Visit playalberta.ca/Gregor to learn more. That's playalberta.ca/Gregor. Must be 18 plus to play. If you gamble, use your game sense.
Yeah, it's me again. And if you're sidelined with a sports injury, you already know nothing's more frustrating than being told to just rest. At Leading Edge Physiotherapy, we get athletes moving sooner with our zero gravity treadmills. You can run, train, and rebuild strength with up to 80% less body weight, so your injury heals while your confidence comes roaring back. When your sports injury's yelling, whisper back, leadingedgephysio.com, because life shouldn't hurt.
It's cone season at McDonald's, which means vanilla cones are $1 each plus tax in the McDonald's app all summer long. Soft, creamy, and crunchy. For just $1 each plus tax exclusively in the McDonald's app. App download and registration required at participating McDonald's in Canada.
It's the Brick's 55th birthday bash, and this weekend only, the savings are huge. Find incredible deals throughout the store. Plus, the first 10 customers on Saturday receive a $55 credit toward a furniture or mattress purchase. Buy any TV 65 inches or larger and get a $55 instant credit toward a soundbar. And buy select mattresses to receive a $55 instant credit toward bedding accessories. Plus, enjoy cake and family fun on Saturday at noon and enter for your chance to win over $155,000 in prizes. Hurry in. These offers end Sunday, July 19th.
Get ready for a night of rock with the Gene Simmons Band. Monday, November 30th at Silent Ice Center in Nisku. The Gene Simmons Band, performing your favorite classic hits. Monday, November 30th at Silent Ice Center in Nisku. Tickets on sale now at silenticecenter.com. Don't miss the Gene Simmons Band.
Hi, Mike here from Northgate Chevrolet Buick GMC. Car shopping sucks. That's right. Going back and forth 100 times just to get a price. Give me your credit card for a test drive. What's all these extra fees? That sounds ridiculous. At Northgate, we do things a little differently. Good deals on new, pre-owned vehicles, good people, and a great selection. Stop in and see us today, 13215 97th Street, or visit us online at northgategm.com.
You're in Northgate country.
Bashaw Concrete Products. From concrete and septic tanks to blocks, precast water pads, jersey barriers, and aggregates. Farmers, contractors, homeowners. Plan your next project at bashawconcrete.com. Family owned. Over 60 years pouring. Bashaw Concrete Products. Once again, start here. bashawconcrete.com.
I'm Dr. Vance Elliott. The goal of every one of the thousands of hair restoration procedures I've performed is a full, natural-looking head of hair. I work directly with my patients for the consultation, the procedure, and the follow-up, so we can achieve the best results possible. When people see what we accomplish, I don't want them to think, "Wow, great hair transplant." I want them to think,
"Wow, great hair."
Go to drvanceelliott.com and contact us today.
From the first face-off to the final, Sports 1440 is your home for hockey talk. With live coverage, expert analysis, and pre- and post-game shows, we bring you closer to the game. Tune in 24/7, only on Sports 1440, Edmonton's sports station.
Portions of this hour brought to you by Leading Edge Physio. We treat pain and injuries head to toe and some other issues that might surprise you, like incontinence, vertigo, neuropathy, and cognitive issues. We invest in technology, technique, skills, and people that know how and what to fix. Life shouldn't hurt. LeadingEdgePhysio.com.
This is Sports 1440, where Edmonton talks sports.
On YouTube, Facebook, and X.
Here's Jason Gregor.
Brought to you by PlayAlberta.ca.
Break 24, we roll through. Jason Gregor, Connor Halley, Declan Kruger on a lovely Thursday afternoon, man. The heat is here, baby. We've been waiting for it, and it is nice to see. Very nice to see tomorrow night for the game. It's going to be 29, 30 degrees tomorrow night. Woo, mama. There's a light chance of showers, but you know what? When it's that warm, you're almost like, give me showers for 20 minutes. You'll take it. So tomorrow is going to be awesome. And we got some tickets to give away if you want to go to the game. So stay tuned tomorrow for tomorrow night's tilt, the Elks and the BC Lions. It is the Gregor Show presented by PlayAlberta.ca. As it's time to go around the NHL, brought to you by McDonald's. And with the heat coming, you need to cool down. Nothing better than $1 cone. Download the McDonald's app today, and you can get $1 cones exclusively at McDonald's. As we go out east, we continue around the NHL. The offseason has been fairly busy for a lot of teams. And this team seems kind of go under the radar in the Atlantic Division. They had 100 points again. They've been ultra consistent for a long, long time. They got one of the best scorers in the NHL in David Pasternak. Hell, Mr. Geeky has emerged as a pretty consistent scorer the last few years. You got Swayman in goal, Charlie McAvoy, Lindholm, Zadorov on the back end. But they're in the Atlantic Division. Florida's coming back. Tampa's good. Buffalo, Montreal look like they maybe finally have woken up. So where do the Boston Bruins sit? Find out. No one better to talk to than Joe Haggerty, longtime beat reporter for the Boston Bruins. And we're going to catch up with Joe momentarily here to get the scuttlebutt on the Bruins. Their new addition, of course, JJ Peterka was their major offseason addition for them. Really kind of it. I guess, James Hagan, as if he makes the team, would be another one, right? Young guy coming out of college, but you always have to have realistic expectations. Well, I guess you don't have to, but you probably should on what you think young guy's going to do. In goal, Michael DiPietro looks like he's finally going to get his chance because they only have him and Swayman right now as their two NHL goalies. You do have Yuri Patera still in the minors and a few other young guys, Lundgren and Kavlin, but I think it's clear who the two goalies are going to be. On defense, like Boston doesn't have a ton of depth afterwards. Like I like their top three. Connor Clifton's pretty solid, 4-5. Will Borgen, bad. Mason Lowry. So I would say their top six. What I should have said was, depth in the minors on defense right now. I guess Asperot would probably be the one guy. Like Jordan Harris has had a few cups of coffee in the NHL, but not really sure that's the guy. They got a good mix down below. Tanner's, big, heavy body. Kastelik's big, tough. Geeky can score. Peterka, Lindholm, Pasternak. I think they're hoping that James Hagan can come up. Fraser Minton had a pretty good year last year for the Boston Bruins. Can he become, 23 goal scorer maybe this year? We'll see. Esimon's a good little rat kind of on your fourth line. So I actually don't mind the makeup of the Bruins. I don't know what it is, though. I don't know. They're kind of just like a okay team for me. I don't know why. Like Pasternak's elite player. But it's their center ice position. I just like Casey Middlestad, Elias Lindholm. That's my concern in Boston. They've got really good wingers. They don't necessarily have I think the center depth to really compete in the Atlantic Division. So we'll try to track down Joe to set that up. Hey, Gregor, I was thinking with reduced preseason, it could make it difficult for rookies to show and make the team. Would it make sense for the league to expand the roster by a couple players and the salary cap by $2 or $3 million for the first 5 games to allow players to look at some younger players from Fraser? Well, here's the truth about it, Fraser. Let's look at the orders, for instance, right? And every team's going to be different because if you're a veteran team, you know what? There's not many openings. If you look at the orders right now, on defense, Alec Regula is going to battle with Ty Emberson, Stastny. They're not going to waive Mac Medulin, so he's automatically on the roster in my eyes. Right? So it'll be amongst those it's going to be Emberson, Stastny, and Regula. Right? And one of them's going to make it. The other two are going to be put on waivers. Up front, Ike Howard, he has the luxury of playing all 4 preseason games. Veterans can only play 2 games. So and honestly, you don't need more than 4 preseason games because the 4 preseason games now are going to be much better quality than the 8 preseason games they used to have. Those first few preseason games, teams would, you dress what deemed 8 veterans, but there was very few quality players. It was hard to know, oh, look at this guy played well. Yeah, but there was no first or second liners on the other team. How do we know what he is? So I don't think you need more. The truth of the matter is you only have 4 or 5 young guys in your organization at any one time who are pushing for it. And the teams who want to try to get, now 19-year-olds, if you're a first-round pick, you can go to the American League. You don't have to clear waivers. I actually think this might sound counter for some people. I think the shorter preseason is actually going to help young players because now they might actually get the proper time to develop in the minors, which is where I think they should be in a lot of cases. I think too often you rush some guys up and they're like, well, he can't go to the American League. Nowhere else to put him, so we'll keep him in the NHL. And he's just, he's spinning his tires. He's not doing much. So I actually think this could be better for young guys. Not necessarily to get to the NHL right away, but better for their long-term development. Hey, Gregor, didn't Zadorov break Draisaitl's ribs behind the play several playoffs ago? A trade would have smacked of the Brandon Manning trade from Rob. So, well, the only time they would have met in the playoffs was the 24 playoffs. And that was, the Draisaitl have broken ribs? I'll have to go back and look. I don't recall. I know, like, I'm thinking, obviously, the one Draisaitl major injury, of course, was 2022 against the Kings, right? With, in 2022, right? When he got his ankle hurt. So, and then against Calgary, when they played the Flames, Draisaitl absolutely annihilated them, right? He had 16 points in 5 games. And, I guess it would have been, 24 with the Canucks. He was with the Flames in 22, but he didn't do anything to Draisaitl in that series that I recall. So it would have been with the Canucks. And you're right. Now that you say that, I think you're right. I think he might have given him a cheap shot, but I think, like, did Draisaitl play after that? Manning wasn't a good player. Let's call a spade a spade. He wasn't a good player. But the thing was, if you watch the replay on that one, I don't even think he didn't do anything that cheap to McDavid on that play, if you watch it. But, hey, I understand it. The team sucks. You're bringing in this guy, and he's not even good. Zadorov's like a legit top 4 defenseman. I think it's a little bit different. You've seen guys that have fought each other and, hated each other, become teammates, and they're great buddies. So I don't know. The Zadorov one, if he got him with a cross check, like, I don't remember it being like, it wasn't like the Pietrangelo swing. I thought that was way worse. So,
Gregor, there was a report that Tyler Myers did some damage to Draisaitl's ribs.
Is that what it was? It was Myers? Okay.
That was the report that I saw.
Yeah, okay.
I did see a hit, but it didn't look like it would have done any damage.
I don't recall Zadorov doing anything that cheap. So, yeah, there you go. Wrong guy. Hey, Gregor, the Oilers have 4 home games against opponents. Not quite you're looking for, yeah. But they have home and aways, but that's not really cutting down on travel. You're in Vancouver, and then you're in Edmonton. Well, that's no different than playing in Edmonton on Tuesday and play against Detroit, and then playing in Vancouver on Thursday against the Canucks. There's no saving on travel at all. It's like with Utah and Edmonton, they play a Friday night in Edmonton and a Saturday night in Seattle. Why wouldn't you just play 2 games in Edmonton? Or 2 games in Seattle? Like, I just don't understand the NHL's reluctance. And I've asked the league, and they don't have an answer. Like, they don't have a good answer to it. That's what's irritating. It's just this is a layup to make your schedule better, easier travel-wise, and better for animosity and rivalry rise. It's nothing bad at all. Hey, Gregor, is Pasternak top 10 most underrated players in the NHL from Joe Daddy? Oh, I don't think so. Like, how many times has he made the first team All-Star? No, I don't think so. Like, Pasternak's, as I mentioned, top 5 player in the game. I don't really like him. He's kind of unassuming, but man, he can shoot the puck. Oh God, he's got a great shot. No, like Pasternak is, most people look at Pasternak and they say, like, his career to date, he's a Hall of Famer, right? He's a Hall of Famer. So. Hey, Gregor, isn't the most out-of-touch thing of all the professional athletes making millions whine about taxes when their fans and people who support them make peanuts compared to them and still support them and have to pay taxes? It's the same NBA guys who can play about playing on Christmas while they're making millions. Yeah, hey, MTR, it's really unfortunate. Like, the NBA PR people should be like, can we get somebody to go on here and explain? And you know what? It should be eye-opening to your league that you've done an absolutely deplorable job of educating your players on financial literacy. And I'm sorry. I think that's part of the organization's job. It's the number one thing I would do if I ran an organization. The number one thing. You sit down and you have these meetings, and some leagues do it better, but clearly the meeting that you're having isn't working. It's not sticking. So have a better structure. Like, before I would hand that signing bonus to a rookie, you'd sit down and do a breakdown of what it means. Okay? Just so they understand. And now maybe you should say it's not the team's fault. Oh, it's the agent's job. Why? You're the team. Do you want them to have success? Yes. And if they're spending all their money, now they're probably stressed. Right? They got all sorts of different angles. Oh, God, I'm paying for this. Oh, that. Now they're stressed. And maybe that impacts their shooting on game days. So, yeah, I think I would have conversations to be like, you can't tell them where they're spending their money. You can't set up the final financial advisor. I understand that. Right? And then, but you could do some research to ensure that you get financial advisors that don't screw them over. While it's never be a guarantee, ask Jack Johnson. His own freaking parents stole his money. So, there's never a guaranteed foolproof way to avoid it. People who want to commit fraud and steal your money are going to do it because they're dicks, right? They'll do it. So, heck, I can't imagine your own parents doing it to you. Like I've known a few guys who played, and it was different when my buddies and when they were younger in the 90s. Back then, like the NHL's changed. Like a signing bonus now gets maxed out at 80 grand, 90 grand, which is still a lot, don't get me wrong, but it's spread out in 2 payments over the year. And that's all it is. It used to be you would get a signing bonus. Some guys were getting signing bonuses of $700,000. You never even played a game in the league. And you got all the money. Like looking back, it was a terrible idea for teams. Like you're giving all these guys money and not all the first rounders make it. Giving them huge money. But I know a guy whose parents sat down and said, okay, he got a big signing bonus. Out of the 700 grand, he got 100 grand. And they managed the rest with his advice, and they did some investments and everything else. And guess what? He was fine. And still, he was living the life of Riley with $100K. Are you kidding me? In the 90s? It's huge money. Like how many he was actually 22. How many 22-year-olds are making, $100K? Like take home $100K. Not make $100K, because I'd be making $200. Take home $100K. How many? At 22, not many. Right? You're living the life of Riley. You're having a great time, especially because half your meals are paid for anyway. Nowadays, like you're in order, you show up for breakfast, you have for lunch, you're not paying for food. Like it's a pretty damn good life. So, hey, you got to work hard. I understand all of that, but I'm just like, if I was the NBA PR people, I would be getting in front of this as quick as I could. Can we just stop this? Because it's making our league look, well, it shows you how out of touch they are. I've always said that. You can cheer for the players, but just understand nowadays with the money being paid, and it's only going to get bigger. You got third line guys making $3-4 million. You just go into a different element. They're not in the same boat. You can try to stay natural, but if you live in a circle and everybody around you has all got that sort of money, you kind of lose touch of reality. And even out there, people listening right now, maybe you're a business owner. You only hang out with other business owners. You're probably doing way better than the average person. That you kind of lose touch of what's the real struggle. We'll take a quick break. When we come back, we'll go on the road on the Gregor Show, presented by PlayAlberta.ca.
Whether you're a craft beer connoisseur or more of a wine aficionado, there's always something new to discover at Sherbrooke Liquor, a unique, family-owned, independent liquor store. The selection? Incredible. The non-alcohol section is also very impressive. Sherbrooke Liquor, expert, knowledgeable staff with a passion for unique finds. More than just a liquor store, we're a community. Alberta's best, the one and only Sherbrooke Liquor. Wine, spirits, and oodles of beer. Visit SherbrookeLiquor.com.
Legacy Heating and Cooling is serious about cooling. In fact, we offer multiple ways to cool your home. So you better
call Legacy. Call Legacy.
If you're looking for traditional air conditioning, we got you.
Call Legacy. Call Legacy.
Or ask us about a heat pump to help you heat and cool.
Call Legacy. Call Legacy.
Cool with AC or cool with a heat pump. Cool your home with Legacy Heating and Cooling.
Listen up, friends. Operation Pizza is a go at Papa John's. They're introducing new personal pizzas just in time to celebrate the premiere of Toy Story 5. These adventure-sized pies come in new exciting flavors like Sheriff's Roundup, Space Rangeroni, and Reach for the Pie. Or take your personal pizza to infinity and beyond by creating your own flavor just for you. Order 2 or more with Papa Pairings and get yours for only $9.99 each. New personal pizzas are ready for takeoff. See Disney and Pixar's Toy Story 5 in theaters June 19th.
Hurry in for hot summer savings at Wolf GMC Buick. Take advantage of 0% purchase financing for up to 72 months on select new 2026 GMC Sierra 1500 pickups. 0% purchase financing for 36 months on select new 2026 Sierra 2500 Denali and Denali Ultimate models. Plus, huge cash savings on GMC Sierra heavy-duty trucks. And ask about the $1,000 truck trade-in bonus and low-rate lease offers. Wolf GMC Buick. We're making it easy. WolfGMCBuick.com.
You don't just need property services, you need problems handled. HireGood provides cleanup, debris removal, site monitoring, and safety attendance across Edmonton. We reduce issues on your property, keep spaces safe, and take pressure off your team. We resolve real problems for businesses while creating real impact because our team is built on second chances and they show up every day ready to prove it. Visit hiregood.ca or call and mention Jason Gregor for a first-time discount. HireGood. Stable jobs create stable lives.
Kickoff is coming July 17th. Elks, Lions at Play Alberta Field at Commonwealth Stadium. It's Dog Days of Summer presented by ATCO Energy. Bring your pup and watch the game in an exclusive section. Get your tickets at goelks.com/tickets.
For over 60 years, the folks at Diablo Boots have been selling the best Canadian-made boots. Handcrafted in Winnipeg, Canada West makes the best quality cowboy, biker, and work boots for Diablo Boots with replaceable soles and heels. Why buy cheaper quality like Ariat, Justin, and Red Wing made in China when Canadian-made is better? Support Canada's workers and Diablo Boots for the best boots. So save on boots by Save On Foods. That's Diablo Boots, 3340 Gateway Boulevard on the east side of Save On Foods. Canada West and Diablo Boots, the two best names in the boots business.
Electrical Solar Team is now making a play for sustainability and savings. They're specialists in powering up for a greener future.
That's the strategy, designing and installing high-efficiency solar panels. They're helping homes and businesses combat rising utility costs by harnessing the power of the sun.
A smart move for efficiency and the environment. Hire the Action Electrical team to bring home a win for your project. Visit actionelectrical.net.
Okay, new strategy. I'll just live in the freezer till October. It's spacious in here. It's spacious.
There's a better way to survive the coming AC season. Pro Solutions is your one-call solves-it-all expert for AC repairs, tune-ups, and new installations. We offer convenient financing options and fast appointments so you can enjoy your entire home, not just the freezer.
Now I can leave the frozen peas where they belong.
Book now at prosolutionsinc.ca.
Portions of this hour brought to you by Sherbrooke Liquor, the best place for wine, cocktails, and beers from all over the world. Also a variety of excellent non-alcoholic options. See more at SherbrookeLiquor.com.
The Jason Gregor Show, the best of Edmonton sports talk and beyond. This is Sports 1440.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
On a hot Thursday afternoon, enjoy the heat wave, baby. We've earned it. We needed it because it has been, well, as you all know, a little rainy, a little wind. It's just, man, 20. It didn't even feel that hot. It just felt like I just was standing outside today at Elks and just taking it all in. If you have the opportunity, get outside for your lunch break, coffee break, anything, enjoy it because it's been a while. Now, if you're the people that are lucky enough to get to work outside on days like today, I know it can be super hot, but it also can be pretty nice for sure. 833-401-1440, 833-401-1440. It's the Gregor Show presented by PlayAlberta.ca. It's time now to get to the Racing Report brought to you by Can Torque, where everything's made in Canada, made for Canada, where extreme isn't theoretical. Find your solution at cantorque.com as Colin Livingston joins us once again on the road as set for another NASCAR Canada race this weekend. CL, how you doing?
Boy, oh boy. For the most part, when people ask,
here you're in racing. It's, you're so lucky to be in racing. Today's not necessarily one of those days. Travel delays. I had issues with the rental car guys, had to cancel, run around. So I was supposed to be at the track like 2 hours ago, but pulled over here just on the side of the 417 so we could do our hit without too much interruption from the cell towers, and hopefully the rest of the weekend goes a little bit more smoothly.
Oh well, yeah. Travel delays can be the greatest test of your character and patience. I've found that's just it can be a little nerve-wracking at times, for sure. F1 is going to be at Spa this weekend, which is going to be a whole challenge with the new 50-50 engine battery combo.
Yeah. I think part of the issue, for people who watch, it's going to be there whether people see it or not. One of the things that Formula One has stopped doing, or they've stopped broadcasting the speedometer during the telemetry. So when they're showing like the driver's view, they used to put up a big graphic and you could see exactly what speed the driver was at. And they've gotten rid of that. So you can't, if you were watching it before, you'd see like, hey, this guy's up to like 320 kilometers an hour on the straight. And way before they hit the brakes, you'd see they'd slow down to like 270, 260 before hitting the brakes. So they're not showing that anymore. And it's not really as obvious, especially to casual fans. But, Alonso said that, basically if you deploy the majority of your energy from turn 1 through turn 5, which was kind of what they did in the past, you're going to have nothing left the rest of the lap. And he essentially said, if we're running just the rest of the lap on the internal combustion engine, it doesn't have any more power than an F2 car. So going to be another interesting weekend. Spa, again, lots of long straightaways, high speed corners, not a lot of really slow or hard braking zones. So yeah, this is gonna play back to Mercedes and Ferrari, who seem to have handled it better than almost anyone else.
You look at Alonso has stated that without the battery powder, his new ice makes the same power as an F2 car, which is that's a pretty glaring statement.
Yeah, but it's true.
Yes. No, that's what I mean. Yeah.
Yeah. Once these things run out of battery power, and the only one, like Mercedes seems to be the only one that they can actually charge their batteries like a percentage while they're under full throttle. Everyone else seems to have to be off throttle or on the brakes. So it's just way less than ideal.
Yeah, it's not a great look at all. As Colin Livingston joins us. How much stock do you put in? Is Red Bull in need of a really good weekend? I know that Max is kind of sitting on the fence here right now. If they have a bad weekend, could this are we maybe watching the last of Max Verstappen and Red Bull? Has it reached that stage in your eyes, do you think, or is that just talk?
Boy, if they've got a weekend like they had last weekend where they're not listening and they're not, putting the weight behind what Max's input is to the car, and they keep, they seem to have this notion now that whatever the drivers, whatever the simulation says, that's what they're doing, and they seem to really be ignoring what Max's wishes are. If they keep doing that, then I think it's a done deal that he'll look for other options. But if they can start showing that he's a 4-time champion for a reason. Whether you love the guy or hate the guy, you have to appreciate that he gets more out of his car than pretty much anyone else could possibly do. And always goes that extra level in qualifying. If you can't appreciate what the guy's doing and within your own team, they seem to want to argue with you, then things are going to get really, really muddy. The team wants Max to commit beyond 2028. He's still got the exit clauses. His manager, has confirmed that. Of course, we never get to see these contracts, but we work on rumor and inside info. But they at the very least, they don't necessarily have to win, but they have to kind of move the car in the direction that Max needs. So that'll be one thing to watch for sure.
There was talk about that canceled Bahrain race is going to be moved later in the year, but there's still increased violence in the Middle East. Could they just move it to a different location?
In theory, yes, but practically no, because, I mean, you know what it's like to put on an event, and especially an event of an F1 nature, trying to arrange sponsors, trying to sell tickets, trying to do the corporate hospitality for the teams to arrange the logistics. It's a nightmare. I mean, it's one thing to go back to a place that kind of already had the ball in motion and kind of had everything in place. But if you just like arbitrarily said, hey, we're going to move this race to Turkey, which has a great track, but not give them time to put everything on. I mean, it's at that point, it just becomes a financial burden on the series and on the venue. They're already running way more races than they ever have. If these don't actually happen, I don't see it being that big of a deal.
Okay. Moving to IndyCar, they're back to the ovals this weekend. They back on the schedule for the first time since 2024. Penske's really kind of dominated, and all of a sudden, Paolo has gone 3 races without a win.
Yeah, I mean, we talked about it a couple weeks ago that that team is starting to make mistakes. Alex is starting to make mistakes. Things that we never saw. Like Palou is not an overly aggressive driver. He's not a panic driver. He's really patient. He's really calculated and controlled. And usually that always works out for him. But yeah, the last few weeks, they haven't been great. Not to say they can't turn it around, but there's a couple of teams are coming on strong. McLaren's won the last 2 races. Granted they were road courses, but Award's been pretty strong on ovals this year. Andretti's been really good pretty much everywhere. They've just had a little bit of bad luck, but again, that's the beauty of IndyCar is on any given weekend, 10 different drivers from 5 different teams, have a legit chance at winning, where it's not so, predetermined like F1.
Yeah. Getting to NASCAR Canada, you're just outside of Ottawa. It's a road course. You guys haven't ran a road course in a while, have you?
No, we haven't been on the road course since our first race at Mosport back in May.
Okay.
So this is our first chance. I mean, our car took pretty good damage on the our last restart before we got knocked out of the race. But I think the boys at Thiege Motorsports and our friends at McCall have really did a great job here the last couple of weeks getting the car back together. Our crew chief, now that we're back on the road course team, Donnie Thompson, he's pretty optimistic for this weekend. We've got a test day for NASCAR tomorrow, a completely new surface. Last year it was super abrasive. It was a total tire management race. And now the reports that we're getting from Calabogie is that the series, even series in the past, which would run, 1 or 2 pit stops, guys are able to run entire races now on one set of tires. So like tire management's not going to be an issue. You're going to be able to run as hard as you want. The lap times, we're probably going to see somewhere between, 3 to 5 seconds a lap faster than we were running last year, maybe a bit more. So really, really looking forward to getting back. This is truly one of the best racing venues in the entire country.
Colin Livingston joins us in the race report. Quickly to karting. You guys are getting kind of in the midway through the season. You're back at it next Wednesday. With the heat and the higher heat and then the risk that we've had with the rain. How's the karting season gone?
I've had a pretty good year. I still have to work on my wet driving, but I think I've put class wins up 5 of the races this year. We just finished race 8. So, doing well. I mean, last night, got the win, but it was anything but smooth. Like I started out well, but then in the first heat, I retired early and my cart started shutting off. I think I had a fuel pickup issue that I had to fix. My main rivals, Damon and Troy Shellamy, father and son team, They each had issues. Troy had a wheel come off. Damon got absolutely turfed at our last corner by one of the biggest weapons. We have, this dude that just shows up every couple of weeks. We might as well have blinders on because he doesn't know what he's doing and he doesn't learn. He's like a 20-year racer with us. I won't mention him by name, but kind of disappointing to watch. I mean, on paper, it's great when my competitors have issues on the nights that I have issues, but hate seeing it, hate watching, guys who just have no regard for anybody else's equipment. And, while I don't get to wave the magic wand as the Imperial Grand Poobah of karting, we definitely have to reestablish what proper driving etiquette is.
So how do you go about that?
A lot of internal discussions amongst, generally our senior members, talk to our race director, talk to people who are active within, active and knowledgeable within our world at EDKRA, and, make sure that, that they understand, like, listen, if you can't keep yourself on track and you can't stop hitting other people, there's no place for you here.
Colin, enjoy Ottawa, enjoy the street course, and we'll talk to you again next Thursday.
Yeah, we should be able to bring at least one, if not two, special guests in next week.
Yeah, well, awesome, and we'll plan to get that giveaway done maybe before Thursday. So we'll look at doing that earlier in the week. So we'll touch base with you on Monday.
Yeah. So for everyone, just really quick, obviously we're back in Edmonton at Wetaskiwin next weekend. So lots going to be going on.
Oh yeah, it's going to be fun, and somebody's going to win an opportunity. Basically, you get to you're going to get inside seats. You're also basically going to get on the radio. So as you're watching, you can hear everything that's been going on between Alex and Colin, and you hear the whole racetrack, kind of get the inside scoop. It's a very unique, cool opportunity. So we'll give that away to any of our motorheads who are interested next week on the show.
Yep, looking forward to it. Pretty exciting stuff.
Awesome. That's Colin Livingston, the Racing Report, brought to you by Can Torque. So I like it. 3:58 coming up. We got some stats of the day for you. Also, we're going to get to Ed Hervey, the GM of the Elks. We got our roundtable and more. It's a Gregor Show presented by PlayAlberta.ca. Let's get to the Con Man and a Sports 1440 update brought to you by Hire Good for professional property services that you can feel good about. Get Hire Good. Site cleanup, debris removal, seasonal maintenance, and more. Check out hiregood.ca. Stable jobs create stable lives.
This is the Sports 1440 update.
Major League Baseball returning from their All-Star break with one game tonight. Mets and Phillies first pitch coming up in about 10 minutes time. The Jays return to action tomorrow at 5:15 with the White Sox in town. Round one of the Open from Southport, England. Jackson Stuber leading the way at 5 under. Daniel Brown and Sanjay in both 4 under. As for the Canadians, Nick Taylor 2 under, while Corey Connors +1. The Montreal Canadiens signing Kirby Dach to a 1-year contract extension worth $3.6 million. He's slated to become an unrestricted free agent next season. And the Stingers are in action, taking on Scarborough. Tip-off 5:30. Coming up in Hour 3 of the Jason Gregor Show, we'll be joined by Edmonton Elks General Manager Ed Hervey and ask 5 questions. I'm Connor Halley. This has been a Sports 1440 update.
Sports 1440, Stingray radio station. CKJR broadcasts from West Edmonton Mall and Wetaskiwin.
Download the free Stingray music app and listen wherever you go.
There's still time to book your tournament at the Ranch Golf and Country Club.
As one of Alberta's top tourney courses, the Ranch makes hosting fun and easy for any group or business. No matter how unique or unusual, they'll accommodate your vision for an event no one will soon forget.
Start planning your tournament today at their beautifully landscaped course on the outskirts of West Edmonton. On-site event coordinators are here to help, but hurry, availability is limited and booking fast.
Visit theranchgolf.com.
Are you a skilled laborer? All-Star Construction wants to talk to you. A heavy equipment operator with Traco or backhoe experience? All-Star Construction wants to talk to you, too. With work in and around Edmonton for local land developers, All-Star Construction offers year-round employment. Whether it's power, gas, or telecom, developers rely on All-Star Construction to get the job done. So if you're a skilled laborer or a heavy equipment operator with Traco or backhoe experience searching for work, search All-Star Construction on Indeed.
It's Dollar Drink Summer at McDonald's. Sip on a refreshing small fountain drink or a small iced coffee for just $1 each plus tax, all summer long. Only at McDonald's. Excludes flavored and cloud iced coffees. At participating Canadian restaurants. Taxes extra. Prices exclude delivery.
Guys, there never seems to be enough time in the day, but you need to make time for this. Ken Franchek here. If you're 40 or over, a quick PSA blood test is crucial for early prostate cancer detection. The Prostate Cancer Center's Man Van is a mobile health clinic driving change for men's health. A few minutes could save your life. To get the Man Van out to your business or event, book today at getcheck.ca.
Does your bank do local? We do. When you bank with Vision Credit Union, you're banking with a rural Albertan cooperative that cares about the community.
What a lovely day.
There's no question. We actively support our rural communities at the local level through charitable donations, volunteerism, local team and event sponsorships, and by returning millions in profit shares to our
Jason
members every year. Does your bank do that? We do local. Bank with Vision Credit Union. VisionCU.ca.
You've got better things to do than wait for an oil change. Jiffy Lube gets you in and out fast. No appointment necessary. All you have to do is roll into a location near you, and we'll take care of the rest. Every full synthetic oil change at Jiffy Lube is warranty approved and comes with a 20-point visual inspection, making sure you get back on the road safely. Find your neighborhood Jiffy Lube today. Visit jiffylubeservice.ca.
Does your bank do local? We do. When you bank with Vision Credit Union, you're banking with a rural Albertan cooperative that cares about the community where you live. There's no question. We actively support our rural communities at the local level through charitable donations, volunteerism, local team and event sponsorships, and by returning millions in profit shares to our members every year. Does your bank do that? We do local. Bank with Vision Credit Union. VisionCU.ca.
Attention Alberta construction pros. For over 50 years, Jaffa Equipment Rentals has been your go-to for top-notch equipment and stellar service. Whether you need rentals or expert maintenance, we've got you covered. Stop by our Edmonton or Calgary locations today.
Yeah. You know what? I like to play. No diggity, no doubt.
Portions of this hour brought to you by UL, helping you finish your electrical project. Is their goal from pot lights to electrical panels? The gear you need is at ul.ca or in person at one of their Edmonton area locations. ul.ca, your partners in power.
The Jason Gregor Show, the best of Edmonton sports talk and beyond. This is Sports 1440.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
Just after 4 o'clock. Just after 4 o'clock on a sunny Thursday afternoon. Hope you're having an awesome day. Gregor, Halley, Kruger, Gregor Show brought to you by PlayAlberta.ca. We got a little CFL port pack action for you. We also have little Gregor pick for MLB tonight. The Phillies taking on the Mets, the only game in the MLB tonight. We also did have round one of the Open Championship tomorrow. MLB returns, CFL returns. You got golf, so we're back in action with lots of stuff. F1 back in action this weekend as well. So, and then, of course, you have the third place game on Saturday, and then the final for the World Cup. Argentina and Spain. Argentina trying to become the first back-to-back winner since Brazil back in the 58 and 62. So, been a while. Gregor Show always brought to you by PlayAlberta.ca. Hope you're having a lovely day. It's time to go now to our roundtable brought to you by... Who's it brought to? Geez, a brain fart there. Action Electrical. Take action on your savings at Action Electrical, the most diversified electrical contractor in the province. Could save on projects, testing, and of course on solar. Get 30% off federal tax rebate right now, actionelectrical.net. Cons, are you up first today?
Sure. I can
All
go
right.
first. Yeah, why not? Yeah, I just want to look at the NHL schedule here, Gregor. And I know it's a complex job, right? There are things that are very tough. And, the good old days, we could do it by hand. And I think now it's kind of taken the technology approach. And we're going to find a way just to make this all happen. But there are certain things I'm just a little confused by. And I just don't know why the schedule makers wouldn't put in place. Like Edmonton, Calgary, somewhere where there's probably going to be a good rivalry, people driving up and down. Let's pencil it in for a Friday or Saturday to take advantage of this type of thing. All these games are Monday, Wednesday, and Tuesday. Like Tuesday, Wednesday, you can't get down there for that one. Hey, maybe you take Monday off work. It'd be a tough commute to get back to Edmonton for Tuesday. But there's little things like this. Why not put these into it? Like, this is the stipulation. We have to have these rivalry games. The only other issue I have with looking at this schedule, and again, I know there's probably technology to blame for it, but the Oilers will be in Anaheim. Then they'll be playing in San Jose, then right back to LA. I don't get why they don't just, try to find a way to minimize the travel. You have a couple days off in between, and it probably could benefit the team. Maybe it's a rookie party. Maybe it's golf under these circumstances with these cities and locations. But when you have rivalries, why aren't we trying to do something to make it a little bit more accessible for fans to go there, and especially for Oilers fans now, one last time in the Dome? Come on.
Deck?
Yeah, I don't disagree. It's never been a big issue for me. Like this one's unique, obviously. One last time at the Saddle Dome on a Saturday would have been great. You would have loved to see something surrounding that. I've just never been like, I'm going to watch all the games anyway. I don't, plan vacations or weekends off around this. Like, I don't go on these road trips to Cali. So it's never been a big issue for me. It's never been something that's at the forefront of my mind. Like, I get where you're coming from. I'm not going to disagree, but there's a large part of me outside of the Saddle Dome one. I'll give you like that one. Yeah, we should have done something surrounding that and the Battle of Alberta. I would have loved to see that, but it's never going to be something I get too up in arms about, because really at the end of the day, like, I personally just don't care that much.
Well, I do. I actually wrote it in my article today at Oilers Nation that it's an odd that there's no weekend games between Edmonton and Calgary. None in Edmonton, none in Calgary. Fans like to travel. It makes for the rivalry better. There'll still obviously be some fans who go on the weekdays, but it's not the same. Now, their final home game in Calgary is against Vancouver. Now, I know it's not Edmonton, but I'll be stunned if Edmonton isn't the team that's there when they open the new arena. Just like in Edmonton, it was Calgary when they opened the new arena. Like closing down the old arena is more about the home team. And, does Edmonton really need to be there? I'm not sold it has to be there for the last game of the year, but there probably should have been one weekend game between Edmonton and Calgary, in my opinion. On a Saturday, you've got 4 games. The schedule maker, at least one should be on a Saturday automatically. I think that's a scheduling mistake because the majority of your fans want the option to go. They don't all go, but they want the option to go. And now you've really reduced the option. So I think it's a fail to not have one weekend game between the two. Deck?
Yeah, mine is pretty chalk. I'm running the ball with this one, and something that I think we've talked about a little bit before, but it's topical after yesterday's games. Lionel Messi, the best to ever do it across any sport. Better than Gretzky at hockey, better than Jordan at football. That'd be crazy, but definitely better than Jordan at football. Better than Jordan at basketball, better than Brady at football, Novak at tennis, Simone Biles, whatever you want to pick. When all the GOATs are sitting at the table, he sits at the head of the table.
Who does?
Lionel Messi.
No. Not even close.
No way. Who?
Name any of his stats that say he's a better GOAT than Gretzky. It's not close.
But okay, so I think the gap between Gretzky and the second best hockey player is bigger than the gap between Messi. But my thing is, soccer's just so much more global. So he did it against, conceivably, such a larger talent pool.
I don't know about a larger, but there's lots of people who play soccer, but they're not all elite at soccer, right?
But how many elite soccer or how many elite hockey leagues would you say there are in the world? Like the KHL and the NHL?
KHL, NHL, well, the Swedish Elite League, the Finnish Elite League, like those are similar to to other leagues, like, good players, not where the great players go, right?
Mhm.
But like for soccer, for the longest time, the best players used to all just go to the one league. Right now, it's kind of the Bundesliga and Premier League, right?
There's like 5. They call it the Big 5. So yeah, La Liga, Bundesliga, Liga 1, Serie A, and then Premier.
But now that you spread it out, they're not all in the same league.
Well, and the teams are top heavy as well, which
Right.
is something to consider.
Yeah.
But I just think from a pure, I'm glad I got pushback on this because I thought this was going to be a boring segment and we were going to move on quickly. I just think when you look at the talent pool and how many people play soccer, it being the global game, the fact he's the best at that sport, that makes him the GOAT of GOATs for me.
Yeah, I guess I got to look at it as how you dominate your sport compared to everybody else in your sport. So all the people who are elite hockey players, right? Like when you get to the 0.01% to play professional, you're the elite of the elite. Now, obviously, then the elite guys separate themselves, right? And then you have greatness. So when I look at Gretzky's gap to everybody else, it's not close. I would actually argue Jerry Rice would be close too, because there's never a conversation over who's the second best. Like, who's the best receiver? It's Jerry Rice. There's no debate. Quarterbacks, though, people debate. Defensive ends, they'll debate. No one ever debates the receiver, but it's a different sport. And that's why it's funny, because in soccer, they'll say, okay, well, Messi's the best, but he's the best striker. Not the best defender, right? Nor is Gretzky, so points matter. But the only other one I would say that we could probably argue, because it is a global and lots of people do it, Michael Phelps is a pretty dominant swimmer.
That would be the one.
Yeah, I have
Is
that
that who
up
you
here.
were-
Well, I have it up right here. 23 gold medals. He's got 28 Olympic gold medals. Next closest is Mark Spitz at 11. When it comes to gold, sorry, Ryan Lochte has 12. My argument about,
I will say, but he's in an era where they have more events.
and
too.
that's exactly it. Like, you have different distances, styles. To me, like this conversation, I think, is just so complex because of all the reasons you guys outlined. Like, there's 5 pro soccer leagues where it's kind of the best of the best. With hockey, it's just the one. I think when you look at the statistics and records, and that's kind of what we have to weigh things with, Wayne Gretzky is just so far ahead of everybody else when it comes to total points. When you look at Messi in terms of club championships and goals being scored, it's close. So for me, like, if I'm going the best of the best, the most dominant, I go with Wayne Gretzky personally, just because the numbers wise is everything he was able to do, winning on all the different levels. I don't think anybody dominated like him. Like, hosting a fantasy show, how many times we're talking Gretzky and people telling us that back in the day you got goals or assists for Wayne Gretzky. That's how dominant he was every single year in and out. So I love Messi. He's my soccer GOAT, but he's not my
we
GOAT of GOAT.
got a lot of guys texting, hey guys, Messi ran from the Premier League. He couldn't hack it.
I don't like, I mean, he won 4 Champions League titles. That's the best of Europe, right? Like, people do kill him for not playing in the Prem, but like, is the Prem that much heads and tails better than La Liga?
No,
Like,
I
I don't think so. Like, it's a little bit more, there's a few more teams at the top that are going to be in there every year, but I don't think it's like, it's not NHL to AHL.
I would say,
Like, goodness,
when you go outside of the Premier League, in Bundesliga, how many teams are there? Like, it's, for the most part, you got Bayern. Is gonna be
Borussia,
like, there's
you got
2 or 3 teams.
Leverkusen.
If you go to Spain,
Salzburg, Leipzig,
you
like, you got
with Spain, you got Madrid, Barcelona, like the powerhouses. Kinda turn over
Valencia,
all
you
the
got
time.
Athletic. Like, I'm not gonna. Yeah, I get what you're saying. I get where you're coming from.
No, it's a good question. Like, it is, and it's always hard because, you look at others, because I know, like, up until this year at the World Cup, there's lots of people who are like, Ronaldo's just as good as Messi, and some will still believe he's better than Messi. Now, if you're going to, and because if you look and say, yeah, but look at World Cup, I'm like, yeah, okay. But if you look at only a 25 or 40 game point over a 20-year career, that's kind of selective. You have to look at everything, right? Gretzky dominated in the regular season. Gretzky dominated in the playoffs. He dominated at the Canada Cups, right? Like, he dominated everywhere. So I think if I look at Messi and Ronaldo, like, the thing was, like, Ronaldo was probably a little flashier than Messi. I think maybe quicker than Messi overall. I do think Messi was a better passer or distributor, right, than Ronaldo. But I don't watch those guys regularly enough to have like a staunch opinion on it, but I love reading and listening to people who debate over Ronaldo and Messi, right? And it's what's unique is lots of people who would look at the GOATs, they always want to go to the new era because that's what they watched, right? LeBron better than Jordan. People are like, okay, pump the brakes. But like even McDavid said, well, McDavid, best great player, sure, but he didn't dominate games like Gretzky. I'm sorry, he didn't. He didn't dominate his peers to the level that Gretzky did. He just didn't. It's not Gretzky's fault that they didn't have the advancements in technology and training that they do today. Today's athletes have the advantage to maximize their abilities more. If you can't acknowledge that, I don't think you're paying attention. So that's why you look and say, well, what did Pele play with? And how did they play? And you can say, well, you know what? The training wasn't as good. Yeah, but that's not his fault. And that doesn't mean if he was given the training capabilities today, would he be any less skilled? I don't think so. But you know what I find interesting is, like, when he's done, are people going to look at Mbappe and say that maybe he's better than both Messi and Ronaldo?
No, I don't think. Like, Mbappe is a great goal scorer in the World Cup. In the last 6 years, PSG and Madrid have won 5 Champions Leagues. He's been on both teams and he's won 0. Like, he leaves and they win. He has had a real falling out with Madrid this past year, and the fan base, the management, players on his team,
and he's still produced.
And he's never won a Ballon d'Or. He's never won a Champions League. I think he's won 1 La Liga, he just needs to do a lot more in club soccer to get to that status.
Okay. Hey, boys, the Messi Ronaldo I thought was similar to Sid and Ovi. One's the undisputed better goal scorer, but the other is basically a perfect player who does every little thing right. From Chris. Yeah, well, and the one thing about Ovi's game that I think never really gets talked about was Ovi was in a game where physicality is part of the game. Ovi was a freak. He would score 50 goals and be top 5 in hits and run you over. And it's a big element of the game. And I know people, yeah, but he didn't win. I'm like, they didn't win because Ovi wasn't playing well, for goodness sakes. Right? Like, that's the part I always chuckle about. Like, go back and look at some of those series. They lost. How about this? The Capitals in 2009. They went to the second round. They lost in Game 7 against the Penguins. Ovi had 11 goals and 21 points in 14 playoff games that year. And you're telling me that he was the reason they lost in 7 games to the Penguins? What? Like, come on. And I never really bought that at all. There was, the year in 2010, they lost. He had 10 points in 7 games. Jaro Halak was out of his mind. That's one of the biggest upsets. That Cap team 2010 was unreal. The next year, 10 points in 9 games. Like, Ovi always showed up. You never really saw a year where Ovi was brutal. But, I'm always me. I don't look at championships as a main part in measuring individual talent. Championships are teams, right? Do I think Kucherov's a better player than McDavid because he won cups? No, but he was on better teams. There's no debate that. Right? And good for him. He played a part. He was an elite player. He's a first ballot Hall of Famer. Kucherov is dynamite. I think he's better in some ways. Some areas of his game, like, he's different than McDavid. But Kucherov's ability to slow the game down and attack you is different. McDavid just goes with full speed and scares the bejesus out of you. Or Kucherov just comes in and it's almost like he lulls you to sleep. And then all of a sudden you're like, what? He had 5 points tonight? How? Like, and he's, and he has the puck on his stick all the time. He's just unassuming. He's different about it, right? So championships are one for me that, hey, it's nice. And yes, they'd like him. But once Ovi won one, all of a sudden everyone's like, oh, yeah, and everything changed. I'm like, it's one thing, 1 year. And suddenly that makes him a way better player in every category. I just can't buy it. I think that's the biggest farce we have in North American sports when we want to rate players is we look at championships without looking at their teams, right? Because you can be a great quarterback. You're not on the field for half the game. If you don't have a good defense or you don't have good special teams, then you're really at a big disadvantage.
I would also push back on the Gretzky-Ovi comparison to Messi and Ronaldo.
Sid Ovi.
Sorry. Ovi has 275 more goals than Sid. When it comes to Messi and Ronaldo, it's like 50.
And the non-penalty goals, Messi actually has more.
And Ronaldo's been a pro 2 years longer. So that's a little bit closer than Ovi and Sid.
I will say I'm happy to be wrong because I love the debate that it's sprung. I'm a little surprised just how against me the text line was. I thought there would be a touch more. It's cool. Like, I still love you guys, but I thought there would be a touch more support there.
Edmonton.
Gregor, that's why LeBron's better than Jordan, Jorge. In what regard? Jordan scored more. Jordan was defensive player of the year way more. And then he won, if you want to use winning. What did LeBron had longevity. That's what he has. He has longevity based on the fact that the training facilities now are unreal. Awesome for that, right? And LeBron was a physical specimen. He was more physically developed than Jordan at 18. No debate about that. Not even a discussion. But Michael Jordan crushed teams in the postseason. Look at his scoring averages, and then look at his defensive player of the years. Sorry, you can't tell me that he was better. It's just no way. There's no statistical data other than longevity. And longevity doesn't make you better. In the prime, take the best 10 years of Jordan. The best 10 years of LeBron, it's not close. Jordan's better. Good discussion, boys. Good debate. The Roundtable brought to you by Legacy, brought to you by Action Electrical. Coming up, we are going to hear from the GM of the Elks, Ed Hervey, joins us live on the Gregor Show, presented by PlayAlberta.ca.
Cheering on Canada, Mexico, Australia, France, England, Brazil, Germany, Spain, and the rest of the world at the Druid Irish Pub.
Your World Cup headquarters.
Wear your colors, cheer on your team, and enjoy $6.50 Heineken every game.
Plus, your chance to win a ton of World Cup merch,
including hoodies, jerseys, soccer balls, and more.
The Druid Irish Pub, your World Cup headquarters.
Bringing Edmonton together, one soccer game at a time.
The Druid Irish Pub.
Cheer with us in the Mercer Building across from Rogers Place and Ice District.
You've got a go-to coffee spot, a trusted barber, even a lucky game day jersey. But when it's about looking your absolute best, there's only one name you need. Mr. Dirk. Family run since 1939, we're experts in crafting impeccable tailor-made suits and offering a wide variety of everyday styles. Pair that with personalized one-on-one fittings and the convenience of on-site tailoring. Mr. Dirk elevates your style game. Visit our Edmonton store or explore MrDirk.com. Score big on style with Mr. Dirk.
Legacy Heating and Cooling is serious about cooling. In fact, we offer multiple ways to cool your home. So you better
call Legacy. Call Legacy.
If you're looking for traditional air conditioning, we got you.
Call Legacy. Call Legacy.
Or ask us about a heat pump to help you heat and cool.
Call Legacy. Call Legacy.
Cool with AC or cool with a heat pump. Cool your home with Legacy Heating and Cooling.
Experience the home ice advantage with your window coverings. Novo Blinds provides factory direct pricing and fast turnaround on roller, zebra, blackout, drapery, and motorized blinds. Book a free in-home consultation at novoblinds.ca.
Edmonton's go-to station for all things sports is Sports 1440.
From Low Tide to Kevin Karius and Jason Gregor, we deliver the latest on your favorite teams.
Tune in 24 hours a day, 7 days a week
to Sports 1440.
Day or night, tasting just so right. You can order Oodle Noodle at oodlenoodle.ca, delivering you the news almost right away. Remember, you can order Oodle Noodle at oodlenoodle.ca. So stay on your couch all day and order oodlenoodle.ca. Oodle Noodle.
Kickoff is coming July 17th. Elks, Lions at Play Alberta Field at Commonwealth Stadium. It's Dog Days of Summer presented by ATCO Energy. Bring your pup and watch the game in an exclusive section. Get your tickets at goelks.com/tickets.
Hi, Edmonton. The legend has been reimagined. Check out the all-new 2026 Subaru Outback. With Subaru's legendary symmetrical full-time all-wheel drive, impressive cargo versatility, advanced safety technology, and an IIHS top safety pick award or higher for 17 consecutive years, the Outback delivers confidence wherever adventure takes you. Whether it's the daily drive, the mountain getaway, or anything in between, the all-new Outback is built for the journey. Test drive it today at your local Subaru dealer. Welcome to Uncommon.
When your project can't afford downtime, call Japa Equipment Rentals. From excavators and wheel loaders to compaction equipment, Japa has the machines you need. Trusted since 1972. Visit japaequipment.com or stop our Edmonton or Calgary locations.
Thinking of growing your business? In partnership with Prairie's Can, the Alberta Chambers of Commerce is helping businesses explore new opportunities, new markets, and build connections through organized trade missions across Canada. Find the right mission for you at abchamber.ca/trade missions.
Portions of this hour brought to you by Elks Nation. Check out elksnation.ca. Articles, podcasts, and more breaking down the green and gold, the most in-depth W football coverage. elksnation.ca.
The Jason Gregor Show, the best of Edmonton sports talk and beyond. This is Sports 1440.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
Welcome back to the Jason Gregor Show. How you doing? On a hot Thursday. It's going to be hot tomorrow. Good weather for the Elks and the BC Lions to kick off another week in the CFL as the Elks and Lions will meet for the second and final time. Kind of odd scheduling that'll be the done meeting for the Elks and BC. So they'll already done their games against Ottawa, and they'll be done their games against BC in their first 6. So, but then they got Saskatchewan back to back after that, and then you got Calgary later on, Hamilton. So, lots of time to see some of these other teams. But big matchup coming up on Friday night as we get to our big guest of the day, brought to you by Silent Rides Charter Company, one of Alberta's premier bus charter companies with state-of-the-art motor coaches that will safely take you or your group to your next destination. Book your rides today at silentrides.ca as we are joined by the general manager of the Green and Gold. Ed Hervey joins us once again. Ed, welcome back to the show, my man. How you doing?
I'm doing great. How you doing?
I'm good. It was hot out. I know it's hot out when you're not wearing jeans. That's when I know it's hot out. Usually you're walking around in jeans all the time. So even I knew it was hot today when you were wearing shorts.
Yeah, I was trying to show off my legs today.
Ed, as the GM, obviously, you know what, your job, you preach, hey, we want good starters. You want depth on your team. And, you talked about, hey, can we just stay healthy through preseason? And you've had some significant injuries, like 40% of your starting linemen are out now in Beard and Coulter Wood-Manzi. You're on your third string middle linebacker. He's played very well, but still, it's your third guy. You've had multiple injuries on your defensive line, and Robustelli's yet to play a game. You've had multiple special teams guys hurt as well, and so you keep bringing in guys. So, can you kind of walk us through how long of a depth chart list you have of players who aren't here, and how often are you calling those guys to know that they're still in shape in case you need a linebacker or a D lineman, etc.?
Well, I think the first part of all that goes back to training camp, right? And for us, identifying, the versatility that we have within the depth chart of training camp, meaning finding out whether guys can play multiple positions. And if they end up making our team, we know that they can do those things. And if they don't make our team, be on the Rolodex to be called back. I think the personnel department does an excellent job bringing in the kind of players that we want, what we're looking for, and we want them to be players that can do more than one thing with the limitations on the roster. Now, we all prepare our rosters for the injury here and there. Sometimes you get hit with a rash of injuries that sometimes you just feel like you can't overcome. But our players have done an excellent job filling in. I think our practice roster has been, excellent for us as far as coming in, and I think the coaches have done a great job making sure that the guys are prepared, getting those guys reps during the season. Mark and his staff are very different than other places that I've been, where the PR guys get reps. They get reps in practice, live reps, just to make sure they're ready. I think that preparation for the players is good, and whether they play first game or they get this is their the fifth game of the season, if they're getting their first start, we as a staff feel comfortable and confident that the player that's going in will know exactly what to do and do it well enough to give us a chance to win. And then the guys who aren't here, for the most part, give or take a player or two, will have been in training camp with us. And, we tell the guys that we're letting go that stay ready, because, you could be the first call back or second call back. And that could be lip service with most, but that's not lip service with us. We actually mean it, that when we tell someone they're going to be the first call back, if that player isn't in camp for us, we will. And that was the case with Pearson, linebacker that we brought back, that we just said we believe that we have the guys in our camp that can do it. And so far we've been fortunate to fill in some of those key starters with guys that were looking for opportunities, and they're making the most of it.
Has there been any player, and this might be a tough question for you, Ed, because obviously everybody you bring in, you expect to play and perform, but some guys maybe perform better sooner, without much experience. From all the injured guys who have come in to play, has anybody maybe you're like, oh geez, I wasn't expecting him to be this impactful right away?
No, I think that would take away from the play of the actual player, and we believe that guys can have the ability, if given the opportunity to play, that they'll impact in some way. And I don't want to say that I'm surprised that someone has played higher than expected, because we have high expectations here in our players. But again, that being said, you have young guys that are going to be given an opportunity to play. And when given the opportunity to play, you want to see the most, of them. And I mean, we have had some guys that are probably flying under the radar as far as, for name value to our fans and league wide, but, their impact has been significant, right? And you look at our D line, and we know that we have, Brinkman, but, not too many people talk about the impact of Tamari Fox. Right. And, we lost, we had the rash of injuries at the linebacker position, and we drafted, Jabome for a reason, right? And for him to get the experience that he's getting and holding his own, he's doing an excellent job for us. We talked about drafting guys who are ready to play. He's doing that for us. When you look on the offensive side, I think, TJ Luther has kind of always just kind of flown under the radar as well, even though he makes his plays. I think you look and, Mac takes a lot of the glory from the wide receivers, but TJ does a really good job himself, making his plays. And I think the most underrated player on the offense for us is Skylar Griffith. You watch him play; he plays with a level of physicality at the fullback position that we simply did not have last year. And you watch him; he's out there blocking ends. He's out there, helping out. Like he's physical, and he's a load. He's catching the ball. He's doing all the things that we had hoped he would be able to do to help in the run game. And there's a reason why Rankin and those guys are doing well in the run game. I mean, you look on the field, Skyler's doing a lot of this work, along with everyone else. But those are some of the names that I feel like should get some praise as we're going through this stretch of playing games and just trying to find our way to get 2 points and put ourselves in position to compete for postseason and beyond, which is what we expect here.
Yeah, well, he is a guy, catches out of the backfield, big blocker, aggressive. And the thing with him is he's able to get the ball in his hands, and then you know what, he might catch it at the 2 or 3 yards, and then he rumbles, so it's second and manageable and second and short. And really, that's when your offense is rolling. That's been a key. You get into second and manageable, and you guys have really exploited teams. Even in the BC game, you were in second and long way too often, which was kind of similar to last year. But when you're in second and short and second and manageable, your numbers, I'm sure you look at it, Ed, like that's where your team has been highly impactful. So as the GM, when you're watching and you saw your team bounce back against Ottawa, as you should, I think you're a better team than Ottawa. Now you got BC. Are there areas specifically that you're watching as a GM looking to see how you respond tomorrow night?
Yeah, I think we're all looking, right? It's I think that our team is still in the prove it phase to the league. I think there's a lot of people that are patting the guys on the back, patting us on the back, telling us a great job. I'm of the opinion not to eat it, right? Don't eat that poison that people are putting out there, because we have ways to go. And we haven't beaten BC, and I would imagine that they're excited to play us based on the last few results. I think they're fired up. They probably believe that they're going to get their season back on track because they're playing Edmonton, right? So it's really what mentality are we going into the game with to match that level of intensity that they're bringing, and ensure that when our fans get a chance to watch us play, that we're a team that has the ability not only to rise to the occasion, but bounce back and show that we have the kind of team that we believe we have, but we want to also go out there and prove it. So I think my expectation as far as the area is concerned is 60 minutes of intense physical play and go out there and execute. And I like our chances. I like our team, and I'm just looking forward to see the mindset that our team comes out with tomorrow, and obviously watch them perform.
You mentioned in practice, Ed, Coach Killam, he gets reps for his young guys. Football is different, and like in the NHL or MLB, even in basketball, like they have a minor league system, and they can send young players to go play and get better, and then they bring them up. But it's not that way in football, right? You have a practice roster, you've got, so you get practice time, and that's really it. And so a guy like Kettle, for instance, a receiver who, had a really good training camp, has come in. He obviously is low on the depth charts to get some offensive reps in. How often do you talk with the coaches about saying, hey, like, not only do I want to get address the young guys, like at some point we got to get him some in-game reps. How do you balance that?
Well, yeah, that's a conversation that Mark and I would have with respect to the roster when we have our weekly meeting post game, and we discuss the roster. I think Carter is in a situation where he's not only has been given an opportunity to go out there and play, and we trust Carter. Sometimes it's opportunity as well, right, to get the chance. But there's no question that if ever called upon and we need him to play, he will definitely do that. And again, we all agree in our building, from the head coach all the way through to the offensive staff, that Carter Kettle is definitely ready to play, and if the opportunity calls, we trust him enough to go out there and get it done. It's just there's guys that are playing, and when the opportunity presents itself, he's another one of those guys that if we need it, just as we talked about earlier, as far as guys are excelling because of practice and excelling, understanding what we're doing, we believe that he can make a significant impact for us. When he played, if you saw, in the game last week, he got the opening kickoff, and he shows he's not afraid. The moment isn't too big for him, so we're excited to have him. When his opportunity does come, we know he'll be ready for it.
Ed Hervey joins us. Ed, for the scouting for you now in the summer, like what are you and your scouting team? What are you looking at now as far as, because obviously there's not a lot of other football, a little bit of junior football going on right now. So where are you focused your scouts at right now?
Well, we're always focusing on the potential of guys getting injured, right? It's finding the next guy, right? Whether it's there's a lot of good players that are still out there, a lot of good players that are, looking for opportunities or holding out or that are in NFL camps. So, the guys are now monitoring the NFL, training camp rosters and organizing their trips for that. I think that's what you start looking at is how do we continue to create the depth that we need, not only for now, but with an eye on the future, and adding those players to our negotiation list and still going out and getting background on players, from the NFL camps, and then also the NCAA and collegiate trips that they'll be taking as well. Those are the things that we're looking for, because we're still working on and maintaining the kind of players, the kind of people we want in our building. And good players are out there. There's many of them, but we want that to be understood that playing here, playing in Edmonton, playing for our team, there's a little bit more than just being a good ball player, and we want them to check all the boxes. So the background checks are very important to us, and just continuing to build depth for the future.
Ed, have you got any confirmation, any clarification yet in talking commissioners and such on how they're going to be implementing? Like, has there been anything new on when the draft date's going to be at all for next year?
No, we haven't heard anything. I would imagine that they'll have something coming up. I honestly, we haven't heard anything from him on that or anything from the league, but that's the elephant in the room. There's really, it'll be something that we'll have to talk about for sure throughout the year, and maybe during as we get toward the end. But it is going to be something that has to be determined on what we're doing and how we're going to do it and how the process is going to go. I'm eagerly awaiting the opportunity to have that discussion.
Okay. And one last one for you. When you look at your team, and you were expecting your team to improve, obviously, this season, what has, kind of when you map out your plan, what has maybe shown up on the field that has impressed you most? Is there one area of your team's game you feel most confident in?
Yeah, I think it's just the experience of playing together shows from our team, specifically on the defense. I think you can see that from last year to this year. I mean, they started to play well, started to really get an understanding of what was expected of them. The communication amongst the players is there. I think offensively, the system is in place. We've made some changes. We have some smart players on offense that are still learning the system, but in the process of making plays, and obviously ranking is playing at a high level. And offenses take a little more time than the defenses when you make this many changes. So the expectation from the offense is that we'll continuously get better as the year goes, and hopefully in the spirit of preparing, you get to the second half of the season, you start playing better, and you get to that final third and that final push, all cylinders are going. I think, to your question, it's really just the level of understanding of the system and what's expected of them is probably the most understated thing in our building. It's not necessarily, the wins and losses and all that other stuff. We play with an expectation here, but it's not just happening just because they're just lining up. It's the preparation that has been put in place by Mark and the staff. It's the players, the continuity of the roster from last year to this year, and you got to give the players a tremendous amount of credit too. Their commitment from this off season to coming in shape, and their commitment during the day to get better, and watching them and with their own volunteer meetings and the time that they're putting into getting better and working out and all the things that we're witnessing here that people don't have the privilege of seeing. You're seeing that, and all that they're doing, the results are making their way on the field. And the confidence in which they play with is because they're all prepared and they've all been around each other. So I can't pinpoint at plays or specific things, but there's a culture shift that has been put in place, and we're really excited about that. And our fans should really feel good about knowing the work ethic of their team behind the scenes.
Well, Ed, it's been a great start, and we're entering a phase here, a really good stretch of games, BC, Saskatchewan, and after that, Montreal again. So it should be a lot of fun. As always, we appreciate your time, and we'll see you at the stadium tomorrow night.
Thank you very much. Thanks for having me on, Jay. Appreciate it.
There you go. That is Ed Hervey, the GM of the 4-1 Edmonton Elks. And by the way, do you want to go to the game tomorrow night? We got a pair of seats for you, some sweet seats to go to the game. Text in 833-401-1440. Your name and your email and the word Elks so we know that you want the tickets. 833-401-1440. Tomorrow night, 29 degrees for a 7 p.m. kickoff between the Green and Gold and the Lions. We'll return on the Gregor Show, presented by PlayAlberta.ca.
Say hello to Alberta's home for reeling and dealing. With Play Alberta, you can spin into the excitement of popular slots like Cash Eruption and Desert Fantasy. Experience Alberta-exclusive games and get in on the action of live dealer tables with all new elevated stakes. However you prefer to play, the fun is ready when you are. Visit playalberta.ca/Gregor to learn more. That's playalberta.ca/Gregor. Must be 18 plus to play. If you gamble, use your game sense.
It's the Bricks 55th birthday bash. And this weekend only, the savings are huge. Find incredible deals throughout the store. Plus, the first 10 customers on Saturday receive a $55 credit toward a furniture or mattress purchase. Buy any TV 65 inches or larger and get a $55 instant credit towards a soundbar. And buy select mattresses to receive a $55 instant credit toward bedding accessories. Enjoy cake and family fun on Saturday at noon and enter for your chance to win over $155,000 in prizes. Hurry in. These offers end Sunday, July 19th.
Day or night, tasting just right. You can noodle at noodle.ca, delivering you the news almost right away. Remember, you can order noodle at noodle.ca. So stay on your couch all day and order noodle.ca. Noodle.
Hi, Mike here from Northgate Chevrolet Buick GMC. Car shopping sucks. That's right. Going back and forth 100 times just to get a price. Give me your credit card for a test drive. What's all these extra fees? That sounds ridiculous. At Northgate, we do things a little differently. Good deals on new, pre-owned vehicles, good people, and a great selection. Stop in and see us today. 13215 97th Street, or visit us online at northgategm.com.
You're in Northgate country.
Hey, Gary, is that your dad?
No, this is Evan, the new sales rep I hired.
Oh.
First impressions matter, but when hair loss takes over, it can feel like you're not being seen for the maverick you truly are. Hi, I'm Dr. Vance Elliott. At Advanced Hair and Skin Surgery, we know that hair loss is more than just a cosmetic issue. It's personal. Let's discuss all the cutting-edge options available so you can make a great impression every time.
Book a free consultation today at drvanceelliott.com.
Portions of this hour brought to you by the Druid Irish Pub, Edmonton's favorite soccer home. The Druid Irish Pub is back in the Ice District across from Rogers Place. Watch all the games with 650 Heineken only at the Druid Irish Pub.
The Jason Gregor Show, the best of Edmonton sports talk and beyond. This is Sports 1440.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
PlayAlberta.ca. Get your opportunities at PlayAlberta.ca. The Daily Grand, $1,000 a day for the next 20 years. 7.3 million. Good luck. Get your tickets, PlayAlberta.ca. It's time now for 5 questions brought to you by The Brick. And it's their birthday bash, their 55th birthday bash. This weekend only. First 10 customers are going to get credit toward furniture and mattress purchases. You can buy any 65-inch TV and get $55 instant credit towards a sound bar. There's going to be a chance to win over $155,000 in prizes. Check it out this weekend only at The Brick and thebrick.com.
It's time for 5 questions on the Jason Gregor Show.
All right, Jason, question number 1. Oilers schedule released today. So give me a game that you have circled on the schedule.
Good question. I guess early on I'll go the Sharks game, October 10th. Celebrini. It's in San Jose, but it's Celebrini also. Darnell Nurse faces his former team. Only 5 games into the season, so I'll go with that.
I am kind of looking ahead to Thursday, January 7th with the Florida Panthers in town, both the Kachucks. That's probably going to be pretty emotional, but really December 3rd. Ovi, potentially his last game in Edmonton.
Ooh, yes.
Yeah, I think that'll be a good one on a Thursday night. Good storyline there. Question number 2 for you. Outside of the Oilers' schedule, which game has you the most intrigued?
Oh. Well, there's a few I look at. I'm intrigued that, Carolina is going to raise their banner, and the team they're playing is the team that raised the banner the previous 2 years. And they love being the antagonist. I think that they'll try to run Carolina out of the rink on banner night, so that'll be fun.
Give me the night the Sens host those Florida Panthers. I'm looking forward to seeing what happens. I think Brady will get his video and a little bit of an applause with some booze mixed in, and then I think the rest of the night he's going to hear it. So I'm looking forward to seeing that one. I think question number 3 for you. In honor of Ed Hervey joining us on the show today, give me your top 3 double E pass catchers of all time. And these are yours. So whoever you got here. I'm going to go with guys that I got a chance to watch. Number 3, I will have Darius Bowman. And he had like a 3-year stretch where he was unbelievable, but had a couple good years around that as well. Jason Tucker was another one for me. I kind of spoiled when I got into the Eskimos and became a season ticket holder. He was just bursting onto the scene, but my favorite guy forever will always be Terry Vaughn. Undersized in the slot, but man, you got the ball in his hands. He was almost automatic to pick up that first down. So Bowman, Tucker, and Vaughn for me.
Ooh, Bowman, Tucker, and Vaughn. It's that's a pretty good trio. I got to go Brian Kelly. There's no doubt in my mind Brian Kelly's in there for sure. He was unreal. Yeah, it's Tucker and Vaughn. The thing about Ed Hervey was I've never, because you can't do it really now, but when I first started, you were able to stand on the sidelines and watch the game. And it was early on in my career, and I'm standing around the 20-yard line, and you're like, you're literally 5-7 feet off of the, from the sidelines. Like, it's wild. And you can hear the game and just how ferocious and violent the hits are. And I knew Ed Hervey was fast. Ed Hervey had caught a ball at around the 40 and in full flight. Now he was running down the sidelines towards the end zone. And as he blew by me, I'd never heard that sound when someone runs that fast. It was just like, wow. And I was just like, oh my God. That was probably the and I was there, Vaughn was on the team. Those guys were unreal. Vaughn was probably better catcher for sure, but Hervey's speed was just something that will put him in there. And I would have Jason Tucker, because at times that route that he ran was burst. Now it helped with Ricky Ray, but it was almost like you couldn't defend it. So I'll go with Tucker.
He and Mookie Mitchell running the corners in the end zone. Pick your poison. It was automatic. Fred Stamps for me also was quite good. Question number 4 for you. NBA free agency rolling on. Where do you think LeBron James will end up as he's keeping it close to the chest right now?
They haven't reached a stage where now you can announce the official contracts, right? We're into the point now you can announce them. Like, usually they're like, okay, he's going to sign, and then they announce it's official later on. So, it seems like it's Miami or Cleveland, which is kind of lame because he's already been there. I would have liked him to go somewhere else just for fun, but I think ultimately home is where the heart is. He'll go to Cleveland.
Yeah, I'm with you. I wish I'm like you. I'd like to see him just go somewhere totally random, surprise us all. Hey, why not come up north, team up with Kawhi, or go out to the Bay and play with Steph? But I'm thinking it's going to be Cleveland, and that'll be a pretty good matchup. Good landing spot, I think, for him. Final question for you today. It is World Snake Day. So my question is kind of a two-parter. Do you like snakes? And what do you think is the weirdest pet to own? Because I don't like snakes, and I think it's weird when people own them.
Yeah, I don't mind. Like, I'm not sitting here, running around wanting to pet a snake, right? Like, I wouldn't own a snake, but I've never, like, obviously I would be very leery of the poisonous ones. But, I've been at those places where you hold the snake and you put it in. It doesn't really bother me. Like, I'm not scared of a snake where to the point where I can't, like, pick up one. I would be scared of, like, a lethal snake, of course. To me, the weirdest pet is a ferret. Like, first of all, they sleep like 18 to 20 hours. What the hell is the purpose of a ferret? I don't get it. Honestly, they stink. One of our buddies had one once. I'm like, why do you have a ferret? I don't get it. I just think, I'm sorry. If you own a ferret, you're an odd person.
I hate snakes. Like, they're unpredictable in their movements. I'm kind of like Indiana Jones, probably the only thing we have in common. I do not like snakes. I tried to play it cool as a kid when I went to the zoo and held one, but that was about it for me. I wouldn't do it again. Weird pets for me, I don't know. I feel like birds are kind of interesting. I used to find people that own them to be a little bit kooky.
Buddy, you get a good bird that's like, I've always wanted a parrot.
If it sat on your shoulder, now I'm like, that's kind of cool. But it's still a little bit weird to me, so I'd probably go with birds.
See, I'd like a parrot. See, I had some friends who had birds. I always thought it was great. Those little chickadees and things like that. And I always wanted, like, I had a few buddies, and one of our friends had a parrot, and it had a pretty decent vocabulary. And I was like, God, that would be like, you teach your bird, like, you get those cockatiels, those white ones, they can really spew some good stuff, man. I always thought it'd be cool to have one. Now, maybe that would wear off by cleaning the cage and everything else. I'm not sure. Right. So that was one where I always felt it was interesting, but I was only ever over at their house for a very limited time. So that it might be skewed. Somebody out there who's had a bird might be able to say different. But I always thought the birds were pretty cool looking. But again, like this place, I remember the Wolanski family in Beaumont, and dude, they must have had, like, in cages, like, I don't know how many they had. Like, at times, like, they had 30 or 40. It was wild.
Really?
They had like a solarium room and all the little birds in there. It's pretty sweet. So, but getting like one of those cockatiels that you could teach it to talk and chirp people when they came in your house, that'd be unreal. I think that'd be quite fun. So, and any bird owners, let me know. Are they not as fun once you have one? Which is true for lots of things in life. At times, like a kid. No, I'm kidding. No, kids are great most of the time.
A lot of work.
Oh yeah, a lot of work. Lots of reward too. It's a lot of fun. 5 o'clock, Mark Spector joins us. Then we have Buck Pierce, the head coach of the BC Lions. Tater's 2-minute warning and more on the Gregor Show, presented by PlayAlberta.ca. Here's the Conman Sports 1440 update brought to you by Northgate Chevrolet Buick GMC. Employee pricing all month long. They get a great deal. You get a great deal. NorthgateGM.com.
This is the Sports 1440 update.
Major League Baseball returning from their All-Star break. One game tonight. Mets lead the Phillies 1-0 at the top of the fourth. The Jays back in action tomorrow. 5:15 taking on the White Sox. Round one Of the Open from Southport, England, Jackson Sumer leading the way 5 under. Daniel Brown and Sung Jae Im both 4 under par. Canadian Nick Taylor 2 under, while Corey Connors is 1 over. The St. Louis Blues assigned restricted free agent forward Connor McMichael to a 6-year, $40.5 million deal. That's an AAV of $6.75 million. McMichael, 25, was acquired from the Capitals along with forward Milton Gasson and a draft pick in a trade for Jordan Kyrou. And the Montreal Canadiens signing Kirby Dach to a 1-year deal worth $3.6 million. He'll become an unrestricted free agent next season. The Stingers are in action in Scarborough tonight. Tip off in about 30 minutes. Coming up in hour 4 of the Jason Gregor Show, we'll be joined by Mark Spector of Rogers Sportsnet, BC Lions head coach Buck Pierce, and we'll hear Cam Tate's 2-minute warning. I'm Connor Halley. This has been a Sports 1440 update.
Sports 1440 in West Edmonton Mall and Wetaskiwin. CKJR is a Stingray radio station.
Download the free radio player app and listen wherever you go.
You've got a go-to coffee spot, a trusted barber, even a lucky game day jersey. But when it's about looking your absolute best, there's only one name you need. Mr. Dirk. Family run since 1939. We're experts in crafting impeccable tailor-made suits and offering a wide variety of everyday styles. Pair that with personalized one-on-one fittings and the convenience of on-site tailoring. Mr. Dirk elevates your style game. Visit our Edmonton store or explore MrDirk.com. Score big on style with Mr. Dirk.
And now Action Electrical's testing team is on defense duty. They're the guardians of safety and compliance, a critical part of any lineup.
Precisely. They perform rigorous safety and code compliance testing for commercial operations. Think of them as the referees, ensuring everything is up to standard before disaster strikes.
Their preventative plays are legendary, spotting faults early. Hire the Action Electrical team to bring home a win for your project. Visit actionelectrical.net.
The job isn't done until the last load is hauled, and having a semi-trailer out of commission is not an option. Whether replacing or adding to your convoy, Edmonton Trailer has a huge inventory of new and used semi-trailers, trusted by the gravel, logging, oil field, fluids, and freight industries. Find a trailer right for you online or at one of their 3 locations. For sales, service, parts, rental, and finance, when you're in it for the long haul, Edmonton Trailer.
It's cone season at McDonald's, which means vanilla cones are $1 each plus tax in the McDonald's app all summer long. Soft, creamy, and crunchy. For just $1 each plus tax exclusively in the McDonald's app. App download and registration required at participating McDonald's in Canada.
Lux Windows was founded in 1969 with 5 people and a dream. 55 years later, our team of experts cares a whole lot about building and installing the best possible windows and doors. Because Lux is not just an Alberta-made product. We're one big Alberta-made family. Everything we are is windows and doors. A company born and bred and made in Alberta.
Photographers, start your cameras. Vision Credit Union's annual photo contest is back. We're asking you to show us the people, places, and moments that made you glad you chose this rural life. Maybe it's the view from your farm, a walk down Main Street, neighbors pitching in, a weekend at the rodeo, or a sunset down a back road. Share your photo to show why life in rural Alberta is a choice worth celebrating. Enter and vote at whatsyourshare.ca.
For all your welding supplies, think AWS Welding. Located in Nisku, their readily stocked storefront carries a wide variety of welding glasses, cylinder rentals, plus welding rod, wire, and consumables. Same-day delivery is always available. And if they don't have it, AWS Welding will find it for you fast. Visit their online store today at awswelding.ca or give them a call or text at 780-979-0470. AWS Welding. They make it happen.
Portions of this hour brought to you by the Nation Golf Tournament, Friday, August 28th, 2026 at Millwoods Golf Course. Golf, drinks, swag, food, and fun. Every swing supports Gregors, grads, and help graduates shine on their graduation day. Early bird pricing ends July 18th, so sign up now at nationgear.ca before it sells out.
The Jason Gregor Show, the best of Edmonton sports talk and beyond. This is Sports 1440.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
Just after 5 o'clock. Lovely Thursday afternoon. How you doing? Jason Gregor, Connor Halley, Declan Kruger with you on Sports 1440, sports1440.ca, as well as the Deck Man running YouTube, Facebook, X, Instagram. Thanks as always for listening. Thanks for watching. Give a thumbs up. Hit that subscribe button. Make Declan's day. It's a very simple thing to do to make someone's day right there. Just costs you nothing. Literally 5 seconds of your life. So check it out. At our YouTube page at Sports 1440. It's always brought to you by PlayAlberta.ca, where MLB is back. The Mets and the Phillies, the only game tonight. And then, of course, a full slate of games tomorrow. The CFL returns tomorrow. We have the Open Championship started today, round 1. We have the weekend games. You got IndyCar and NASCAR and F1. On the weekend, World Cup. We'll find out. Is it going to be Spain or Argentina? Can Argentina be the first back-to-back champion since 1962? It's been a while since Brazil went back-to-back. Spain also did it way back when in like 1930, I think it was. I got to jump the... I got to find out the exact year it was. I think it was like 34 and 38 or something like that. Sorry, Italy in 34 and 38, not Spain. Duh. It was Italy. Yes. So in the early days, right? That's when Uruguay won 2 of the first 4. It was Uruguay, Italy, Uruguay. And then Brazil started to say, hey, hello. We're pretty good in 58 and 62. So no one's gone back-to-back since Brazil. Argentina could do it. That would be unreal. Spain won in 2010. So they're looking for their second title in 5 World Cups. Same with Argentina. So we'll see who gets it. Should be pretty fun.
You did have Spain, though. They won Euro back-to-back with a World Cup in between. Very good run as well.
Oh, yeah, they had that run, 2000, around the 2000, was that 10 and 12 and whatever
it
was?
Yeah, 8, 10, 12, yeah. Good team.
Pretty good run for sure. Now, let's get to the Spec Report, brought to you by GS Construction, your underground infrastructure specialist. And they are hiring top men, top women, of course, pipe layers, operators, and more. Check it out, gsconstruction.ca. Look up careers as Mark Spector from Roger Sportsnet joins us. Spec, how you doing?
Oh, schedule day. All kinds of fun, Jabe. Looking at the schedule this afternoon. Read your piece.
Oh, yeah. Well, the one thing that stood out to me the most in that was when you face a team who's on their second half of a back-to-back, and Montreal has 19 of their 84 games where they face an opponent on the second half of back-to-back. At the bottom end of that, Toronto and Winnipeg only have 5 such games. Like, that's a real big difference. And over the course of a season, that can be the difference for a team making the playoffs or not. Now, that advantage goes away in the playoffs because you know what? Everybody plays the same sked as you. Now, maybe you go 7 games, the other team goes 4, but then you meet them again. But you're never playing anybody back to back. So that's a pretty big advantage for Montreal.
Yeah, it should be. I do recall a point in the Oilers season where they had a big long homestand and they had like 3 out of 4 games teams who played in Calgary the night before, remember? And didn't they lose all those games? I think they lost them all. So, yes, it's an advantage. It's an inherent advantage. You can't say it's not. You still got to make it pan out, and Montreal needs to bear down and win those games. So sure, Edmonton didn't do a very good job with that advantage last season. Toss it on the pile of bad regular season performances for the Edmonton Oilers last year, right?
Yeah. Yes. Big time. So, you look, Spec, we have the schedule came out for the Oilers, and I said, honestly, they couldn't have asked for a better start just based on their first 2 games. You got the worst team in the league opening up both games. It's not like Vancouver's made a big change that, you know what, they're not going to be that good. The other thing I noticed is for the second year in a row, Edmonton basically has all their Eastern time zone games done before halfway mark of the season. Like January, last year was December 19th, I think it was. This year it's January 3rd, their last game in the Eastern time zone against Pittsburgh. And I really do believe that's an advantage later on in the year when you don't have to travel as far. Just fatigue does come when you're traveling back and forth. And the West teams, we know they travel lots. I think the Oilers, my understanding of talking to some people, that's something they've looked at, and they want to try to get those Eastern games out as quick as they can.
Yeah, it's a hectic first half. There's I think the Oilers have 4 5-game trips. And if I'm not mistaken, I would think 3 of those are part of the end on January 3rd. So there's a ton of travel in the first half for sure. We forgot yesterday on the show, we were talking about how they don't have anything to leave town for. We forgot about the World Junior. They do have to leave town here for the World Junior. And they're doing a big Eastern swing through, Carolina and the Floridas and Pittsburgh. I don't know where it goes. I've been looking at schedule all day. But anyway, so they get kicked out over Christmas. That's not that big a deal.
Well, but they have a week off before that starts.
Yeah, they have like 5 or 6 days off before. Yeah. So that's good. So you know what? People celebrate their Christmases a little early, and they'll be really well rested for that trip. So that part's good. Sorry.
You'll probably have some players go home for Christmas because they play on the 20th in Edmonton. They could fly out, anybody who lives out east, fly out east to see your parents or family or whatever on the 21st, and then just make a small little flight from there to Columbus on the 26th. You don't have to come back to Edmonton. Right, you go to Columbus because that's where the road trip starts. So that is, for guys like that, like I'm sure there's some families that will just stay here, European guys and whatever. But either way, it's rare. I can't remember the last time they had like literally 5 days off, 21st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 6 days between games. That's pretty rare on Christmas.
It is. I don't remember how the CBA works. Like no one can report anywhere until a certain time on the 26th.
Yes, that's right. You can't practice until whatever your local time zone is, 5 p.m. Right?
Yeah.
They got a lot of time to get there on the 26th.
But they play a day game.
Yeah, they'll fly on the 26th. You can fly, you just can't practice.
Yeah. So I mean, the Oilers are so there's no practice at all. They're going to have 6 days off over Christmas, and they're going to play a 1 p.m. or 3 p.m. Edmonton starts, so 5 p.m. in Columbus on the 27th.
Yeah,
and then again the next day in Washington.
Yeah, I would think they would have a practice in Columbus at 5 p.m. Eastern.
Probably they would meet for a 5 p.m. practice. Yeah, I would think that's fair. Everybody has to get their rear ends to Columbus from wherever they are and be at a 5 o'clock practice, and then no morning skate, and then you play Columbus in the afternoon the next day. Yeah. So that's kind of goofy, it's kind of weird schedule, but whatever. Listen, every year we look at our schedules, and in the end, it's the teams. The good teams are good, and the good teams win, and the bad teams don't win. And no one's blaming the schedule for any of it, man. Everyone has tough runs. Everybody gets the bad end of the stick once in a while. Everybody comes home and the other team's waiting for them in their city with 2 days off, ready to play. We all do it. Every team does it. You know, the good teams survive. If you can't survive, maybe your team's not good enough, huh?
Columbus, something that the NHL brought back this year is they actually have games on Boxing Day this year. And Columbus is in Washington on Boxing Day, and then they play the Oilers at home on the 27th.
Oh, I didn't realize that they were playing Boxing Day. I'll tell you, that's okay, I guess. If you want to play Boxing Day, that's fine. I draw the line at Christmas Day, and I've always drawn the line at Christmas Day. I think it's a horrible idea, and the reason isn't for the players or for the coaches. The reason is for all the people that man the parking lots and sell popcorn and clean up the arena for barely better than minimum wage. Those people have to go to work on the 25th so that the NBA can make an extra whole bunch of $1 million on their Christmas Day games. I am morally opposed to 20 games on December 25th, Jason, and I'll never move off it.
Oh, dude, I am with you 1,000%. I think it's a terrible cash grab, and hope the NHL never does it. I don't love the NBA and the NFL to do it, so smartly the NHL has never done. Now, for a few years, they went away from games even on Boxing Day. So coming back on Boxing Day this year is unique a little bit. But you know what? Hey, whatever. There, some people like it, and so away they go. The other thing is the Oilers break around the All-Star game is a massively long break. They're home from January 28th until February 22nd, and in that time they only have 8 games because they play on January 28th and 30th. Then they play February 3rd, and then it's the All-Star break, and they don't play again until the 12th. So they're off from the 4th. Right now, I know the players will come back and probably practice on the 10th or the 11th. But again, they get almost another week off there. They have 2 long stretches during the season with no hockey. And so, any talk about fatigue should be completely out the window.
Yeah, no, for sure. I absolutely agree. There's no, and it's not even like last year, everyone got the 4 nations off except for the really good players who had to go play in it. Or I should say the Olympics, excuse me. So yeah, everyone got arrested except for the guys you pay to see every night. None of them got any rest. This year's different. Like you're right. A full, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 days on the calendar without a game in February. To me, guys are going to get a chance to go away. That's the All-Star break. So I suppose, right, Leon and Connor are going to end up having to hang around wherever the All-Star game is this year. Where is the All-Star game? The Islanders?
I have no idea.
Honestly, I think the Islanders get it.
I haven't even looked.
I know, but but it's not fatiguing for those guys. It doesn't make them tired.
Yeah, it is. It's the Islanders.
Yeah, but anyway, I guess what I'd say to you is I love the fact that the whole league gets a week off in February and then fires up for the stretch run. Everyone's, everyone's rested. Most guys are healthy, ready to play the best hockey at the most important time of the year. I think that's all good.
Yeah. What's interesting about that stretch of games, everybody's done on the 3rd, and then some teams come back spec and they're already playing on the 8th of February, and the Oilers don't play until the 12th. So they have an extended break that week. It's just kind of weird that they're having that much time off in between games. So like, even though the guys that are going to the All-Star game, they'll come back from the All-Star game on the Sunday, and they'll have Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday off because the Oilers don't play until the Friday the 12th. So even those guys are going to get an extended break out of the All-Star game.
When's the All-Star game? On the Sunday or the Saturday?
Well, yeah, even if it's a Saturday, even better. I can't remember. Yeah. The skills might be on the Friday and then the All-Star game on the Saturday.
Yeah, my point is, my recollection is that McDavid and Draisaitl and their then girlfriend, fiancés, now wives, they ended up slipping down to like Turks and Caicos before the All-Star game and then stopping somewhere warm on the way home. So I guess when you make the combined income of those two guys, you can find yourself in a really warm place in a big fat hurry, can't you?
Yeah, the All-Star game goes the Friday and the Saturday. So the Oilers then they don't play. They play on Wednesday the 3rd. Then there's the All-Star game is on the 5th and 6th. And then the Oilers have the 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th, and 11th off. I'm sure they'll practice something, but the team doesn't play again until the 12th. So.
Right. So they wake up in New York Sunday morning, get in a plane, go somewhere warm for 3 days. They could skip practice Wednesday. If I'm the coach, who cares? Anyway, all is good. You know, the point is, last season got crazy. Like I talked to lots of guys about it, and it was almost always off the record, Jay, from the Oilers and other teams, because no one wants to be the guy that complains. I make $5 million and I'm tired. You know, it's too much. Like, no one wants to be that guy. I think I'll say this, and I don't think he'd be mad if I did. Matthias Ekholm's probably that guy. You know, he didn't want to talk on the record about how tiring last year's schedule was. But he and I could tell you 7 or 8 other guys, when you talk to them and put your pen down and your recorder away, they go, you know, like there's just so many games, like every second night. We're playing 4 a week every week. You just look around the room and you can see that not everyone is ready to play every night. It's just, in the end, it doesn't matter what your paycheck is. You're still a human being, right? You're still a person. And these guys were coming to the rink last year, and there was some real just difficult nights to get your game face on, man. I'm here to tell you, I don't care what they pay them. There was too many games in too short a period last year. It wasn't good, and I think we'll remedy that this year.
Spec, enjoy tonight, and we'll talk some Elks tomorrow as they get set to take on the BC Lions.
Sounds good, Jay.
There you go. That's Mark Speck with the Spec Report, brought to you by GS Construction. When we come back, the head coach of the BC Lions, Buck Pierce, joins us on the Gregor Show, Sports 1440, sports1440.ca.
It's the Brick's 55th birthday bash, and this weekend only, the savings are huge. Find incredible deals throughout the store. Plus, the first 10 customers on Saturday receive a $55 credit toward a furniture or mattress purchase. Buy any TV 65 inches or larger and get a $55 instant credit toward a soundbar. And buy select mattresses to receive a $55 instant credit toward bedding accessories. Plus, enjoy cake and family fun on Saturday at noon and enter for your chance to win over $155,000 in prizes. Hurry in. These offers end Sunday, July 19th.
Wow, get ready for a silly hockey fans. Your partner in power just skated onto the ice.
EWEL.ca, the new e-commerce website for electrical wholesalers Edmonton, is ready for the power play 24/7, 365.
UL skates to where the puck will be in 5 years. Now that's forward thinking.
Killer selection, slamming products from the best brands, and legendary service.
Don't sit on the bench. Get your account today at EWEL.ca and win that project.
Plug into your partner in power. Get an EWEL.ca account today.
Hey, hon, I'm getting expressions and images to frame my hockey card collection in the man cave.
Perfect. I'll come with you and bring our wedding photos. For sports memorabilia and family treasures, think Expressions and Images, your local custom framer since 91. You name it, we frame it.
It's Dollar Drink Summer at McDonald's. Sip on a refreshing small fountain drink or a small iced coffee for just $1 each plus tax, all summer long. Only at McDonald's. Excludes flavored and cloud iced coffees. At participating Canadian restaurants. Taxes extra. Prices exclude delivery.
Stay in the know with news on TuneIn. TuneIn brings together news stations from around the world so you can hear what's happening as it happens. From breaking updates to in-depth coverage, it's all in one place. Listen to stations like CNN, BBC World Service, Fox News Radio, MS Now, Sky News, and more to stay connected wherever you are. When the story changes, you'll hear it first. Download the TuneIn app to listen or search news on TuneIn to stay in the know.
You've got better things to do than wait for an oil change. Jiffy Lube gets you in and out fast. No appointment necessary. All you have to do is roll into a location near you and we'll take care of the rest. Every full synthetic oil change at Jiffy Lube is warranty approved and comes with a 20-point visual inspection, making sure you get back on the road safely. Find your neighborhood Jiffy Lube today. Visit jiffylubeservice.ca.
We just dropped a massive payload at NISQ 4. It's time to unload some deals at the Truckload of Savings event. If you've been waiting to upgrade, we've backed up the savings with unbeatable offers on our toughest Fords. Right now, haul away exactly what you need and take advantage of massive price drops across our entire lineup, including the legendary Ford F-150 for the job site or the weekend getaway. Shop the Truckload of Savings at nisqford.ca. Nisq Ford, above expectations.
I see a record and I want it into black.
Portions of this hour brought to you by 01 Athletic Care, Edmonton's multidisciplinary health clinic at West Edmonton Mall. Physicians, physio, massage, sports psychology, and more. One team, one roof, one plan. Look now at 01.ca. That's ZERONE.ca.
The Jason Gregor Show, the best of Edmonton sports talk and beyond. This is Sports 1440.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
Continue on the Jason Gregor Show, Sports 1440, sports1440.ca, YouTube, Facebook, X, and Instagram. Hope you are having a lovely, lovely hot Thursday afternoon. And as hot as it is now, man, I think it's going to get even hotter tomorrow. Should be a great matchup between the Lions and the Elks. The Elks 4-1. Their only loss, though, came to the BC Lions, who had a little bit of a slow start. Lots of injuries, and they're starting to get healthier. And they obviously handed Edmonton their first loss of the season, and they had a bye week last week, so rested. I noticed on their depth chart came out earlier today. They got 4 injured starters coming back in, some returning guys in the secondary and elsewhere, which should be good for them. And that allows us to talk a little CFL with the head coach of the BC Lions, Buck Pierce. Buck, welcome back to the show, man. How you doing?
Hey, I'm doing great. Appreciate you having me back on.
Yeah, you betcha. Few things to discuss. I guess now this one might be, let's just start right with the easy one. You had lots of success running the ball with James Butler, and a lot of it was in the A gap. So is it just, same old, or are you expecting that you might have to alter that a little bit?
No, I think you always have to alter it a little bit. I think every team in the CFL wants to be able to run the ball, and you want to be able to run it through the tackles, but you're going to have to do some other things. We're going to have to make sure that we're balanced offensively. You look at what Edmonton's been able to do over the first number of weeks. They're a physical football team that's playing very well on defense, and we got to make sure that we're able to generate first downs and have good efficient plays early on first down, and we'll still want to control the line of scrimmage offensively, but we're going to have to make sure that we're balanced also.
So, Buck, you never want to make excuses as a player or a coach, but injuries are, it's not an excuse. It's just a fact. And you guys, you're hit hard by the injury bug, especially to your receiving core and other places. So as a coach, when you're going through that, how much did that play into it? Did you just have a lot of inexperience that might have led to some of those losses early on in the season?
Well, I mean, listen, I think, you never want to see guys go down. But it's opportunities for other guys. And, coming out of training camp, we had some talent and we had some guys that we really liked. We got hit with the injury bug early, and those guys were ready to step up for us. So you go through a learning curve, and, we've gone through ours, and hopefully, those lessons are in the past, and we're able to move forward and continue to get better each day. When we're trying to get some guys back healthy, guys are starting to feel better and better as we get going here throughout the course of the season. But, you're right. We're never going to make it as an excuse. That's part of football. That's what this game is about. And I think it's going to serve us well in the long run. It's a long football season, but, we need to continue to, grow. And if those are the young guys, new guys, that's a great opportunity for them. And as a coach, I think, you want those guys to step up into those roles and make plays. And they have. So, we're hopeful to get some guys back, but, we're also okay with where we are and our trajectory right now.
Buck, you played the position. So I think it's great. I always like to talk to guys who played a position about a player. Yeah. And when you look at Nathan Rourke, like his ability not to just scramble, but to scramble and throw. Lots of guys just scramble and then they run. He scrambles and throws, and that is way harder than I think we probably give him credit for. What impresses you most as a former quarterback about your quarterback?
Well, I mean, his physical abilities, just like you talked about, he can play from the pocket as good as anybody. His processing of his progressions are as good as anybody. But it's when he's able to make plays outside of the scheme as well. Just like you talked about, whether that's a long run or whether that's extending plays and breaking down, guys in the secondary. I think when you look at Nathan, what makes him so tough and dynamic is as a defensive coordinator, you got to kind of pick your poison. Are you going to sit back in the zone and try and keep him in the pocket, or are you going to pressure him and make him get the ball out of your hand? And he does both things just so well. And he's real pleasure to be around and coach.
When you have a quarterback who has that ability to scramble and then run around and still make throws, I don't know if you devise plays for that, Buck, at all, but it's an ability that a lot of quarterbacks just don't possess. So how do you take that ability and put it into your game plan?
Well, I mean, I think you're comfortable as a play caller, and you put him in situations and you understand that if things do break down, he'll be able to make the right decision, and that's what you want from your quarterbacks is you understand that if this play doesn't work, or if the defense takes it away, or if something happens, he's going to make the right decision for the team. And typically with a guy like Nathan and the really good quarterbacks in this league, they do that for you and they make those type of plays. So I think as a play caller, you give those guys the freedom, and open up the playbook to them, and trust that they're going to make the right decisions and put you guys in a position to win. Okay.
On the defensive side of the ball, you're getting Lee and Bell. So that's two starters, one on the D-line, one at the halfback position. And just, experience matters. Your D-line brought a lot of pressure and has all, obviously Betts is a freak at the defensive end position. You bring Bell in, and one of the best parts of your team's defense is you can get constant pressure from only a 4-man rush. And that, I'm sure as a former quarterback, that's a huge advantage, because now you're under pressure, but it's not a blitz. And so they've still got a lot of guys covering, right? With Bell coming back in, does that just augment, and are you expecting even more pressure from a 4-man front?
Yeah, I mean, I think those guys pride themselves on that, right? I think, it's a very unselfish group when you add Levi Bell back into that mix. Getting him at the midpoint of last season and his growth and his motor, him and Betts go hand in hand. We got two guys that play the position the right way, and then we also have guys that are continuing to grow into those roles as well. And it's an unselfish group that prides themselves on getting to the football, making the quarterback uncomfortable, and then just helping the entire defense with the way that they play. But it does make it difficult when you can rush 4 and have 8 in coverage. You really like your chances.
How do you game plan against a guy like Rankin, who obviously is a threat running and he's a threat receiving, right? You guys shut down the run game. The only team to do it was great, but he still was able to get some receiving yards. So how do you balance that out, Buck?
Well, I'll speak from just a coach perspective on this, where, watching his film this season, last year, you're in awe, and it's exciting to watch, what he does. He's a special player, and he works really hard at his craft, and he's so hard to bring down. He's going to make his plays. He's going to make his plays. Jordan McSimic will do a great job of getting him the ball. We got to make sure we're fundamentally sound and we know where he is at all times. We got to make sure we tackle better, and make sure we're keyed into our communications and getting 12 hats to the football, because he's going to make guys miss. He's going to make plays, and they're going to find ways to get him the ball. So we just got to do that consistently.
You look around the league itself, Buck, and the offense is up. It's been highly entertaining. Lots of scores, lots of touchdowns. You find I always hear sometimes, coaches don't like all the offense. I'm like, I'm not really sure if that's necessarily true. I think scoring's good for the game, right? Obviously, hey, if you win 42-40, I don't think you get more or less enjoyment than if you won 21-20, right? Where do you come out as a coach with that? You want big plays. You want, you like the game that's played fast at a high tempo and back and forth. I think as a general fan and a fan of the game, you want to see those things. I think as a coach, you look
possibly at different angles. And you watch, a good physical defensive football game with great special teams and the way guys are playing clean, good football. That's also something that's admired as well, right? So I think every offense has the ability to put points up on the board this year. I believe the defenses are continuing to get better when you look at the matchups, coming up the next number of weeks. So I think we're all in for exciting football.
Buck, last one for you. The head coaching, as guys, you've been around coaching for a long time. You get into head coaching, and just like anything, no different, I think, as a player, you get more experience, and I don't know if things slow down as a coach as much as they did maybe as a quarterback. And, Mark Killam kind of said for him, year number 2, it just slows down a little bit more. And for you, you're still, you're not like a, 10-year head coach by any stretch of imagination yet. You probably will be down the road. But how much of a difference have you noticed early on in your progression as a head coach specifically, and maybe managing your time and just managing the overall game?
Yeah, I think it's, Mark's spot on, right? He, as a rookie head coach, you don't know what you don't know, and you try and pull, from other people, and you ask your players a lot, and you're trying to get what everybody needs, and do what's best for the organization and the players, and also put your own, stamp on what you want it to look like. And then, I think year 2, guys come in with the mindset of, we know what to expect. We know, what the expectation of what Buck wants for our team. And that transition's always easier. But I think, every year is different. That's the great thing about this job, is every day you show up as a head coach, there's something to do. And, that's what makes it great. And I get to be around great, coaches and players that make me better. And that's the best part of the job.
Well, Buck, look forward to it. It's going to be a hot Friday night in Edmonton. Best of luck tomorrow night. Really appreciate your time.
Hey, thanks, guys. You guys have a great afternoon.
There you go. There's Buck Pierce, head coach of the BC Lions. And I'm telling you, man, Nathan Rourke is another guy. Like as good and as exciting as Rankin is as a running back, I put Rourke right there as a quarterback. Like he's one of the few guys. You watch other quarterbacks, all of a sudden they got to scramble. They're out of the pocket and they're running. Rourke is running, but he's always thinking about throwing. And that's what makes it dangerous. And I was talking, JC Sherritt's talking about it. You got to rally the 12 guys to get to Rankin, according to Buck Pierce. It's really no different. If Edmonton can't get pressure on Nathan Rourke tomorrow, it's going to be really hard to win. If you can make him uncomfortable, you got a chance. I think Edmonton's got the cover guys that they can handle man-to-man coverage, maybe more so. And I'll be curious to see, where the blitzes are coming, how often JC Sherritt is going to bring extra pressure tomorrow night against Nathan Rourke. Because if you don't pressure him, he'll find an open guy. And they got good receivers, right? Obviously, you got Hatcher is excellent. McInnes, very good. You throw in Jackson. He had a great game against the Elks. So, and then Butler, when they needed him, was running the ball right down their throat. So this offense is dangerous. I know their stats, they're 1-3. Had a slow start. They had some injuries. I'm still not sleeping on BC. I think this is a huge game for the Elks. If you can win this game, get yourself to 5-1, then all of a sudden maybe you split with Saskatchewan at 6-2, and you're at the halfway point of the season almost. They put themselves in a really good spot. But this is a big game. And then offensively, I think you got to score points to beat BC. Edmonton cannot be in second and long as often as they were in that first game against BC. Otherwise, I think it's going to be a repeat performance. They got to have much better production on first round. Make it second and manageable, because in second and manageable, if you look at the stats, the Elks are very good there. Where they get in trouble is if it's second and long. Quick break. We'll come back. We got Cam Tate in the 2-minute morning and more on the Gregor Show, presented by PlayAlberta.ca.
Performance by Action Electrical today. Their projects team kicks things off, designing and building with unmatched skill.
Then the service team swoops in for those crucial repairs and maintenance. And don't forget the testing team, ensuring everything's safe and sound before the solar team scores with sustainable energy.
A complete team effort. Have Action Electrical bring home a win for you and your project. Visit actionelectrical.net.
Say hello to Alberta's home for reeling and dealing. With Play Alberta, you can spin into the excitement of popular slots like Cash Eruption and Desert Fantasy. Experience Alberta-exclusive games and get in on the action of live dealer tables with all new elevated stakes. However you prefer to play, the fun is ready when you are. Visit playalberta.ca/Gregor to learn more. That's playalberta.ca/Gregor. Must be 18 plus to play. If you gamble, use your game sense.
At GS Construction, people grow with the company. 50 years of experience doesn't live in a binder on a shelf. It lives in our people at every level, passed down on every site. Many of us started with a shovel in our
Folks,
hands.
I'm looking at these
Built
pot
whole
bunkers at the
careers
British
here.
Open,
Work is
and
honest.
are
Company's
they
been around since
ugly?
1974.
Oh.
So if it all sounds good to you and you want to grow with us,
Sports,
GS Construction is currently looking
1440.
for experienced pipe layers and topmen. No shovel required. Visit gsconstruction.ca today.
From the locker room to your radio, Sports 1440 is Edmonton's sports leader. Real talk, big personalities, and your texts. It's interactive. It's fun. It's where Edmonton talks sports. Sports 1440.
It's cone season at McDonald's, which means vanilla cones are $1 each plus tax in the McDonald's app all summer long. Soft, creamy, and crunchy. For just $1 each plus tax exclusively in the McDonald's app. App download and registration required at participating McDonald's in Canada.
I'm Rick Showers from No Bull RV with an unfortunate reality of buying an RV new. If you finance the whole thing, you'll owe more than your new RV is worth for like a long time.
In the credit world, they call that upside down on your loan.
That's right, Bob. Same with new cars. You lose about a third of the value when it rolls off the lot, which puts you upside down in a big way. And that's a dangerous place to be because customers want to sell it and pay off the loan, then realize it's not possible. Sometimes people are so angry about that, they give us bad reviews because we can't help them.
Used buyers don't have that problem.
It's why I love used RVs so much, Bob. You pay fair market value for a quality used RV at No Bull, and it's still worth that much when it leaves the lot. Even if you finance the whole thing, in most cases, you're right side up for the whole term, which gives you options and flexibility later.
And that's No Bull. NoBullRV.ca.
Portions of this hour brought to you by Papa John's. Get the Gregor special. Enjoy 20% off any regular menu price order. Enter promo code Gregor at papajohns.ca or on the Papa John's app.
This is Sports 1440, where Edmonton talks sports.
On YouTube, Facebook, and X.
Here's Jason Gregor.
Brought to you by playalberta.ca.
$543. Welcome back, Jason Gregor, Connor Halley, Declan Cougar, as we get to Cam Tate's 2-minute warning, brought to you by Legacy Heating and Cooling, home with no payments, no interest for 1 year on your AC unit. You're going to need it right now. Oh, probably a little hot. Stay cool at legacyheating.ca. Here's the man, the myth, the legend, Cam Tate.
Folks, I'm looking at these pot bunkers at the British Open, and are they ugly? Oh, these things look like they were dug by angry groundskeepers in 1847, which historically they basically were. See, the Brits decided centuries ago that bunkers should be deep. Like, I can't find my golf ball. I can't find my legs deep. No miner's lamp for when you descend into the abyss. It's not a light. No. It's a lamp. A miner's lamp. You know, like the fellas in the coal pits. Not a forehead flashlight. A lamp with a wick. Is Kruger awake over there? Kruger? He nodded off already? Oh my goodness. We need him to fully understand. And I mean, fully understand. It ain't a light. Lamp all night, baby. Okay, now the facts. It's the most feared hazard in all of sports. The Open Championship pot bunker. These aren't your standard resort sand traps. We're talking about deep, wind-carved craters guarded by near vertical walls of stacked sod. When the fairways dry out and the wind howls, A rolling ball doesn't just stop. It trickles right up against that grass face. There is no backswing, no forward escape. Just ask the world's best, who routinely have to swallow their pride and blast out sideways or even backward just to survive. In a game of inches, these sandy little pots of misery remain the ultimate test of survival on the links. The RNA doesn't keep an official statistic on how many golfers physically stepped into the pot bunkers on Thursday at Royal Birkdale, though technically, anyone whose ball found the sand had to climb in to play their shot. If we are talking about players finding the sand on Thursday, while a complete field-wide tally of every single bunker shot isn't published as a single stat, we do know how the course's 104 notorious, steep-faced pot bunkers dictated the day's play. The survivors. Staying out of them was the ultimate key to a low round. For example, Bob McIntyre navigated his way to an opening 3 under 67 by employing an ultra-conservative strategy specifically designed to steer clear of the fairway pots. These things are insane. Distilling comedic beats into punchy brevity. Sandy coffins with vertical walls. No rake, no escape, no mercy. Just you, a 7-iron, and zero hope. Good luck with that. And oh yeah, one more thing. The lamp, not the light. I sincerely hope young Kruger over there understands. 2-minute warning. Sports 1440.
Cougar, are you awake? Do you understand that? Yeah, you get it? He's giving us a thumbs up as he was yawning. That was the hilarious part of that. It was almost, oh, yeah, I know, I'm awake. I'm yawning, I'm awake. Classic stuff. Hey, let's get to our stats of the day, brought to you by All-Star Construction. And if you are looking for a gig right now, maybe you're a summer student, just somebody who is looking for a change of pace, well, they're hiring. Go to Indeed.com. Check it out. You've exactly what you need. If you are just a entry-level laborer, construction laborer, boom, they got you. Backhoe operator, a locator, a hydrovac operator, pipe or gas pipe technician. Apply today. Indeed.com and look up All-Star Construction. So some stats. Let's get to the NHL, of course, because we had the announcement of the schedule today. A few little interesting tidbits. Twice this season, all 32 teams will be in action on the same night, including the last night of the season on April 10th. Everybody's playing, so nobody's going to have extra rest coming into the playoffs this year. Everybody plays last night, so there's 16 games on April 10th. There's also 16 games on October 13th. So twice this year, you will have everybody playing, which makes it interesting. Of course, this year they've gone to 84 game schedule. There'll be 28 games in your division. You play everybody 4 times, 2 at home, 2 away. You play the 16 teams outside of your conference twice. So that's 1 home, 1 away. There's another 32 games. It's now up to 60. And the final 24 games will be split 3 games against each opponent in the other division in your conference. So the orders, they'll play all the teams against the Central. That really has been the same for a while. It rotates. You play 4 of those teams, twice at home, 1 away, and the other 4 you'll play 1 at home and 2 times away. The orders, of course, are opening up against Vancouver. The Global Series continues on. Carolina and Seattle will play in Finland on November 12th and 14th. And the Global Series will have Chicago and Ottawa in Dusseldorf on the 18th to 20th of December. So, little interesting timeline there. Also, the outdoor stadium games continue. The Jets are hosting the Canadiens in Winnipeg on October 25th. The Avalanche will take on Utah on New Year's Eve. And that should be unbelievable background with the mountains in Utah. And then you have Dallas in Vegas in Arlington, Texas on February 20th. Hopefully it's not too hot. at that time. But the outdoor games are obviously good. The Long Island will host the All-Star game this year, February 5th and 6th. As I mentioned, the Oilers have a little bit of a quirk schedule there. They play on the 3rd, and they don't play again until the 12th, even though the NHL resumes on the 8th. Crosby and Ovechkin are going to face each other October 7th, and then again they face like January, March, and April. McDavid and Kucherov, the two leading scorers last year, they've combined for 9 Art Ross trophies. They meet November 19th in Tampa Bay, and then January 11th they take on in Edmonton. If you're looking for young rookies, Gavin McKenna, Matthew Schaefer, they will battle on September 30th for the first time in Toronto. Macklin Celebrini, Connor Bedard, who are both at one point last year top 5 in scoring until Bedard got injured. They face off for the first time January 30th, and they play again on the 10th of February and the 16th of March. So not Celebrini, but Bedard should be back and healthy again. Games as far as matchups against your former team, Darnell Nurse going to face the Edmonton Oilers very early in his tenure as a San Jose Shark. It'll be the Oilers' 5th game of the year on October 10th. The Oilers face the Sharks again twice in January and once in March. For Edmonton, some interesting part about their schedule is they will have 11 sets of back-to-back games, and 10 times they play a team who's on the second half of a back-to-back. The Oilers have an 8-game homestand, which is split up by the All-Star break. They play January 28th, 30th, February 3rd, then they're off, and they come back for 5 games. They also have a 6-game homestand in January after, and now they have 2 6-game road trips this year. One in November from the November 14th to 22nd, 6 games in 9 days. And then they have another one where they play 6 games from December 27th through until January 5th. So that one's 6 games in 10 days. The Oilers also have a 5-game road trip in December in Chicago, Minnie, Buffalo, Ottawa, and Montreal. But it's an odd one, a 5-gamer with no games back-to-back. So, yeah, it's tough, but it's not an overly difficult road trip when you never have to play back-to-back. That's always a benefit. The NHL has really wanted this year. I was looking around the league, lots of inter-conference games down the stretch. The Oilers' last game against an Eastern opponent will be on February 22nd against Ottawa, and then their final 21 games are all against Western Conference teams. They'll play Calgary 3 times. They'll play Nashville, Dallas, Chicago, LA, and Winnipeg twice, including the last 2 games of the season. And the only Western team they don't play in those final 21 is Utah, because they play them back-to-back in October, and then once more they face Utah in January, and then they're done. So there you go. Those are some stats of the day brought to you by All-Star Construction. On behalf of Connor Halley, Declan Kruger, we'll have lots of coverage tomorrow. Elks and the Lions, man. I can't wait for that game. It should be awesome. We'll talk a little World Cup, Argentina, Spain, who's going to win, that and much, much more. On behalf of Declan Kruger, Connor Halley, I'm Jason Gregor. Let's get to the Con Man of Sports 1440 update brought to you by Go Auto, where not only do they give you an opportunity for great vehicles, they give you lots back in their community. They have donated over $27 million back in the community, various charities. That is goauto.ca. Good night.
The Sports 1440 update.
Major League Baseball back underway after the All-Star break. 1 game. Mets on top of the Phillies. 1-0 in the bottom of the 6th. Jays back in action tomorrow, 5:15, taking on the White Sox. Round 1 of the Open from Southport, England. Jackson Super leading the way 5 under par. Daniel Brown and Sung Jae Im both 4 under. Canadians Nick Taylor 2 under. Corey Connors +1. The St. Louis Blues have signed restricted free agent forward Connor McMichael to a 6-year, $40.5 million contract extension. McMichael, 25, was acquired from the Capitals earlier this year. Meanwhile, Montreal Canadiens signing Kirby Dach to a 1-year extension, $3.6 million. He'll be an unrestricted free agent next season. The Stingers in action right now out in Scarborough. They lead 21-18 in the first. Coming up next on Sports 1440, it is Fox Sports Radio. We'll be back with live local coverage tomorrow morning, 7 a.m. with Tom Gazzola, also on YouTube at Sports 1440 AM. I'm Connor Halley. This has been a Sports 1440 update.
It's Sports 1440. A Stingray